Stay in studio. Dude,
It's
why?
asking you.
Yeah, I told you it asks me every time we go live if I want to stay in studio. When I click go live.
Why would you not want to stay in the studio?
That's what I'm saying. I just clicked go live and it's like, "Hey, do you want to leave the studio?"
What happens if you leave? Does
It's
it
probably
just
just you. Which is just sounds of M&Ms in your teeth.
Yep.
Dude,
That's
that
what I do.
I bet you that show would crush. You'd get a bunch of like freaks. You know what I mean? That just
Ooh,
like
what
to
is
hear
that?
you.
What is it
Like to
crunching
hear.
on? Ooh, that crunch is so good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, start a website called Only Crunch. It's just you eating M&Ms into this mic. Well,
Ben,
hopefully.
Ben,
Hey,
if
listen.
you
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if you didn't have Jesus in your heart, would you do an OnlyFans?
Yeah? Are you kidding, bro? That's not even a question.
What would
Why
you? What
wouldn't
would
I?
you do? Would you do feet,
Hey, whatever you want, baby.
bro? If I could get paid for feet, I'd do it.
Whatever you want.
I think I'd do it even with Jesus in my heart.
Your
I
feet?
think I would sell pictures of my feet for sure.
Even as a Christian, you would sell pictures
I
of your
don't know.
feet?
I think about this like sometimes, like when I'm on
Maybe if I can make a little
toilet.
box that they have to click that says, like, "You will not use this sexually." If you give
Right.
me your word, you're just, like,
You just
using this photo for, like, science or research
or just your appreciation for toes and
for God's creation.
yeah. Does that exist?
Dude, I don't get that. I don't get the feet thing
I
at
don't get the feet thing.
all,
I don't get
at
it. I never
all.
will. I think feet can be pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
Unless they're
of
baby feet. Baby
course.
feet are the cutest. Baby feet. Annabelle had like the stinkiest feet when she was a baby. It was so cute. And
Ugh.
I would just like smell it. Like, it was the cutest thing. Anything, I'm telling you, anything a baby does is the cutest thing. You'll
But
see.
why would you smell them?
Just because you knew they were stinky and they were just like, I
But
don't
what
know.
would they
It's like,
stink like? They're not wearing socks, they're not
I
wearing
know they're not.
shoes?
It's just she just like sweat glands in her feet. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's yeah. I would talk to people about this. And they're like, oh yeah, my baby's feet was crazy
Wild.
stinky. Yeah.
I didn't expect that, bro. Well, hey, we had a guest scheduled. I'm gonna check in periodically to see if he responds.
Mhm.
I've been messaging him all day since this morning, asking, "Hey, are we on? Are we on?" Nothing. It was our Orthodox guest, so it looks
Our
like,
first
dude, our
Orthodox
first. Listen, it's been
guest.
so hard to find
Mhm.
somebody. I've been trying for probably like 4 months to find an Orthodox person to come on, and finally, a dude says, "Yeah, let's do it." And we get it scheduled, and day of, MIA.
Maybe he didn't like our last interview with John.
Why?
He thought maybe we would. I don't know. I don't know, man. People
Bro,
are weird.
grow a pair. What do you mean? I'm not. If people get offended by our conversations with other people, okay.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying we cater them. I'm
What are
just
you doing
yeah.
online? Have you ever been on the internet before? Okay, boomer. You know, like, grow up.
Do you get offended anymore, Ben? Ever?
No,
Never.
not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. I
I don't think
I
I do
actually
either.
find insult, like anything insulting, I find it funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I do get, I don't post that much on our stuff. Like I don't do too much, but every once in a while I'll post something or I'll comment something and it'll just rile so many people up. It's so crazy. Like how the division, I'll look at my phone. I'll have like 30 comments on a comment of mine. And I'm just like, this is the dumbest thing. These people have so much
Yeah.
time.
You think that's real though, or you think that's just bots, bro?
I don't think they're bots, dude. I mean, I don't know. Maybe these bots are that good, but
Oh, for sure.
they're that well, they could be, yeah. I mean, they could be bots. Dude, AI is getting so crazy, dude. It's insane. When you
The
as
Antichrist.
as I said that, you froze. You were just like, I don't know.
As you said, what?
That AI is getting insane. You're just like,
Did you hear me say Christian? Wait, what did I say? I don't even remember what I just said 3 seconds ago.
is that
Christian. I said Christian bots. That's
Christian
the
bots?
spirit of Antichrist.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't hear
Yeah.
any of that?
No,
Wow. Okay. Wasn't meant to be, bro.
it's the Antichrist. Do you think? Did you watch that video I sent you from I Am Beggar about the Antichrist and well, no, it was AI and how he compares it to God.
I Am Beggar.
Yeah, I Am Beggar. The letter I, letter M, Beggar. Really good videos. This guy has really good
You
videos
sent this to
online.
me?
Yeah, I sent it to you and Cam, I think last week.
Actually, I probably did watch it. What is it about?
It's like 18 minutes long. About
18 minutes long.
Yes, it's really good. It's like an animated video. All of his videos are like that, and they're really good.
On Instagram.
Yeah, YouTube would be easier to kind of find him and go through because he has some shorts too, but he has longer form videos.
Okay.
And it's comparing AI and God. And he uses AI to give us like this view of God. And it's actually really cool the way he did it. He actually makes,
here we go.
No, it actually makes God like so much better and bigger. It's cool. And it's not like heresy or anything. He's like, and he says it, he's like, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just giving you this, I'm helping you think a little bit more about AI so that it can give you the greatness of God, like even more. It's actually really cool. It's, I wanted your take on it. You and Cam didn't respond, boogers.
I literally think you're delusional. Where did you send this?
Maybe I didn't send it to you guys. I sent it to a bunch of people, but I thought I sent it to you guys for sure.
I don't think you did, bro. But anywho, so if our Orthodox guest hops on, which I don't think he will, there's no way he's going to respond this late, you know?
Yeah.
Then anyway, I would pull him in, but if not, we're hanging, baby. We're talking about only cracker, or what did we say? Only crunch.
Only crunch.
We're talking about only crunch. We're talking about feet. I mean, okay, hold on. Let's think about this, Dennis. If you're not Christian, why wouldn't you just be like crazy? Like, why wouldn't you just go hard, all out, just do anything?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to stay away from like disease and hurting people and stuff.
Disease? They got like pills for everything now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. This is a crazy question.
Like, why wouldn't you? I don't get it. Like,
I was gonna ask a really crazy question, but I think I stopped myself. I think it's good that I stopped myself.
Say it in Romanian.
No, because we have Romanian followers.
Like 2. They're not. What are they going to tell your mom?
Maybe, yeah, they probably would. They would.
Benis prosty.
Ask you offline. I don't know.
Dude, come on. Okay, hold on. Let me guess. Does it have to do with butts?
No. Oh, gosh.
No?
No.
Then you should say it.
You should say it. I shouldn't say it if it had to do with butts.
Wow.
Oh man.
Is there a way you can word it where it's less?
That's what I was trying to do. I was like, okay.
That's ChatGPT.
Dude. Okay, back to AI.
I am live on a podcast, and here is the question I want to ask. Can you help me rephrase it so it's not so offensive? Boom, done.
Have you messed with the prompts? Like built your own prompts? Agents? Yeah, or like GPTs, really, I guess. Not prompts. I would say more GPTs, like build your own. It's pretty cool. It's insane. Anyway, you should watch that video. If not, I'll send it to you. Maybe I'll put in the link too. It'll be good. I would like to hear other people's.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm still thinking about if I wasn't Christian, if I would have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And the answer is unequivocally yes. Because if I wasn't Christian, I'd be freaking like, I'd be crazy, bro. I'd be loco.
Yeah, you'd be like a man slut.
Well, listen, that's just one avenue. Like sexuality is just one thing.
Would you steal stuff?
Hell yeah. What are you talking about? Why wouldn't you? This is my question.
Yeah.
If you're not Christian, like if you have no moral hierarchy or something above you that you hold in esteem, revere, fear, why the hell wouldn't you just do anything? Like it makes no sense. Just do anything.
I just can't
There's
imagine
no
that.
consequences.
I just can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. I can't even like I can see other people doing it. I just for myself, I just can't imagine it. I can't imagine not having that kind of conscience where or those
Oh,
things in that
dude.
like I just can't imagine it.
Yeah, for sure. I can't imagine not being Christian. Like, I can't
Yeah.
imagine not having this filter or worldview through which I interpret reality,
Mhm.
which is like God and Christianity.
Yeah.
And when I think that there's people out there all around me, right, that don't have that, I'm like, oh, no wonder you're crazy. Like it makes
Yeah.
sense.
It
It
makes
actually
sense.
makes sense. When I run into somebody that doesn't believe in God and is just like a normal person, I'm like, dude, you're weird.
Mhm.
What are you scared of? You know? Go all in. Go all in. Like, don't walk the line. If you're not Christian, if you don't believe in God, you should be freaking off the chain living it up.
Isn't that crazy though? Because that means like it, God's word is true with that his laws are written on our hearts.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
we know everyone who was ever created knows that there's a God.
Yeah. And actually that reminds me last night I was hanging out with Rebecca and a buddy of mine that I've been friends with for like maybe 15 years. Dude, at least 15 years. American dude texts me randomly. I haven't talked to him probably in like 6 months. Texts me or 4 months, I don't know. Messages me on Instagram and he's like, "Hey, bro, I just want you to know uh, I've been getting closer to God." And this is a
Mm.
guy I used to hang out with and talk, and he would argue against Christianity, tell me
Oh,
why it's stupid, why the Bible's adulterated. Like he was that guy. But
yeah.
we would hang out, we were friends. So we'd smoke cigars together and just like talk, for hours, hours. And for years, because he grew up Mormon.
Mm.
And then he left that, went crazy in the opposite direction,
Yeah, of course.
hated God, church, religion, hated all of it, and was very like smart and intellectual and knew why he hates it and why it's fake and blah blah blah. And now texts me that he's like feels like God's calling on him and he's answering his prayers and people are in his life
Wow.
that like are helping him with stuff. And it's just like this whole thing that he's witnessing and he's like, oh yeah, this is God. How crazy
Did
is
you
that?
ask him how that happened? Like, was there like a moment? Did he hear something?
Uh no, I asked him like what finally did it, you know? And he's like, "Oh, just effing up my own life," and, then what I just said. People that
Mm.
have, like, came into his life, prayers that he had answered, like, very directly and stuff like that. Um, and he's talking about dude,
Mm.
it's crazy. He's talking about, like, feels like he just needs to get closer to Jesus. He doesn't know what that means. I'm like, "Bro, what?" So
Wow.
wild, man. Dude, I wanna say I have probably, like, 10 friends, close to 10 friends that have become, like, Christian in the past few
Mm.
years, you know?
That's pretty awesome. Um,
It's really crazy. It's
yeah, that's
really,
amazing,
really
man.
crazy.
I hang out with a lot of church people, and everything that I do is like from like through the church. So like when I talk to people or my care stuff that I do, it comes through the church, a lot of it. So I don't get a lot of everything I do is like faith based, and then, so I don't really talk to too many people out like in the workforce anymore, workplace. I don't that are not believers lately. So I have a few. I had one from like my old job that I had. He called me a couple weeks ago and he's like, "Dude, you're gonna be so happy." I'm like, "What?" He's like, I met Jesus." I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I shared the gospel with him 2 years ago now, and yeah, just something happened, kind of like your friend. Just people coming into his life and things like that. I do see that happening more and more.
Dude, I'm seeing it a
Um,
lot.
yeah,
I'm seeing it a ton.
and other people getting closer even to the Lord, like so people that I've known, who did believe and who were Christian, I guess, have really, really their lives have been changed even more and more. I think at least for me, I surround myself with, or I try to surround myself with other people that are really big on spiritual practices and habits and things like that.
Mm.
Um, because I need them desperately. and they sustain me. And I see what they do when you're actively um, practicing spiritual habits. And I think that when you're not doing it, I see the results also. And there's a lot of pain that people are experiencing, self-inflicted, and most of it self-inflicted, um, just because of their lack of being with Jesus and just spending time with Him, reading, studying, memorizing, things like that. Um, I see a huge difference. Like I now when I talk to people, if they're like, this is happening, this is going on in my life, and they're telling me this, thing that's going on. Yeah, it always comes down to they don't have an ongoing following Jesus relationship. They have a label. They go to church, a few times a month, and that's it. They pray a little bit here and there. They'll read maybe a devotional here and there. They'll watch a video here and there, but their life is really disconnected from the Lord, and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the problem. I mean, I'm telling you, man. There's so much that goes
I think
into,
that's like the norm, though.
but it's scary, man. I don't know, man. The seriousness of my relationship with Jesus. Um, like listen, man. I sin all the time. I make mistakes. I all the time. My mind goes in different places all the time. But like, it's really important to me to like spend as much time with Jesus as I can, all day, every day, like as much as I can. It's like on the forefront of my mind. If I have some downtime, I'm like immediately listening to an audiobook, picking up a book, praying, listening to and singing along to some music or something, writing something, talking to someone, encouraging them. It's just constant, you know. Um,
Yeah, but that's not the norm.
that isn't, I know, and I do have a very interesting life right now. So, so I don't, I know people can't do this all the time, but there is a way you can integrate, um, the practice of the presence of God, like Brother Lawrence's book, into your everyday mundane life. Um, and I never did that up until started to about 3 years ago. And then again, and then had to practice and do it daily. But there's something about it, Ben. There's something
That's
about,
probably why, bro, that's probably why when God in the Old Testament chose a people, right? He created like a culture
mhm,
that
mhm,
revolved around
yeah,
the religious stuff.
yeah,
Like everything they did.
yeah,
Everything was
everything.
saturated with
Yes.
him, temple, forgiveness, ritual washing, like the whole
The
thing, like
feasts, all the observances,
everything.
everything, yeah.
So
The
it was
formation, the way they were, how they placed themselves. I mean, everything had
everything.
had purpose behind in this order, that was, I'm sure, beautiful.
Yeah, there was no like escaping it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? There's no escaping the presence or practice of God or
Mhm,
whatever because it was like
mhm,
ingrained in
right.
everything that they did. Um, which is, dude, I kind of wish we had that again. It's called, I think the term's called theonomy, where it's like
Okay.
God's laws are the laws of the land.
Mm,
You know,
mm. Yeah, yeah,
I think that's what theonomy means. I don't know, but bro, that'd be so badass. That would just be so easy.
yeah.
It'd be like, okay,
Um,
God, what do you want me to do? And he's like, that stuff. Like, I already
I
gave you all
I
that.
I think it'll be easy for us because we have the Holy Spirit. I think that's the difference. I think about this a lot because I started again reading from the beginning, and I'm in Numbers now. And when you when you read these stories, and like just the stupidity, right, of the Israelites, right? It's, I was talking to somebody about this
Bro,
this weekend.
they were the worst and not much has changed.
Right, right. Yeah, but listen, man, that's us too. Everything that they've done, we've done. Um, when it comes to like our um posture towards God, towards sin, towards the
Yeah.
world, things like that. But I was just talking to somebody about this, the Sabbath. So the very, very first Sabbath that was ever implemented, right? You have God like literally telling them this, and he's like, the very, very first Sabbath, 6 days you don't, you work, the seventh day you don't. And then and it says, I think it's in Exodus somewhere, it says, on the seventh day, some of the people went to gather. Some of the people went together. And right after it says, and they found nothing.
Nice.
And I love that, like how it ends that verse. But it's just it's so crazy. And I was thinking, I sat there, I'm like, gosh, the very, very first Sabbath, like they messed up. The very, very first Sabbath, dude, they couldn't just chill. Like he's telling you, just don't do anything. You have enough food, you have everything you need. You just
Yeah.
relax, enjoy me, enjoy this, enjoy
Hey,
your
hey,
family.
hey.
Mm.
I'd go trying to pick something
Would you be one
for
of those
sure.
guys?
For sure.
I don't
I'd just
know,
be like,
man.
dude, this is chilling so boring.
But dude, the very first one, okay, I can understand, maybe a month later or something, but the very, very first one, I mean, come
Well,
on, bro. After all that they saw and what they're seeing, and it's unfathomable for me sometimes. But then I think of myself, right? Like I literally can go to bed like so full of, of like the spirit and just,
yeah, 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 yeah.
so, and then I wake up and I'm just like a complete mess,
Yeah,
I'm just like depressed. I'm like,
yeah.
whatever. And I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm not,
That's like, hey, that's like sometimes I'll sit up because I can't fall asleep right away, you know?
Mhm.
So I'll just like be thinking about stuff and I'm like praying in my head. And then I'll start getting grateful like for my
Right.
wife and how great she is. And I feel bad because I was an asshole today and like I shouldn't have yelled at her. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna do better. Tomorrow I'm gonna tell her I love her and I really appreciate it. And then the next day comes and I totally forget all this stuff. I'm like, oh, we're gonna start reading more.
Right.
Like I really need to be a better spiritual leader in the household. I need to like help, you know. And then the next morning
Right.
comes and I'm like, Instagram videos
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and YouTube clips. And oh, it's the worst. It's
It's
the
bad,
worst.
man. It's gotten really
That's
bad,
why
I
I'm
think.
telling you, I'd be the guy picking on the first Sabbath.
Yeah. I'll
Because
give
I'd go
you
because I'd go to sleep on day 6, be like, dude, we are so chilling tomorrow. It's gonna be such a nice day. God said not to do any, and then I'd wake up, forget, and just go pick, you know?
like, let's go, guys. No
Let's
one's out.
go.
Let's go.
Where's everybody?
Yeah, where's everybody? Yeah, it says some of the people went out, not all of them. I don't know. I find it fascinating reading the Old Testament just to see like how many times, like just the grumbling, the murmuring, and the patience of God through all that, And obviously there was some, all the time he wanted to. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. I'm going
I
to use you,
mean,
Moses, at 80 something years old to start, or even older at that point, to start a whole new nation. I don't need anybody else. I love
yeah,
how God
but
does that. He's like, I don't need anyone else. I'll just use you, you old man.
dude, not a lot of people know that God wanted to wipe out all of Israel and start
Yeah.
over with
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, Not a lot of people, I didn't know that
Yeah.
until a few months ago when we read it, and I was like, "Holy smokes, God wanted to wipe these fools out." That's how
Yeah.
annoying they were.
And not
That's
even the
how
rest of
freaking
the
annoying
world.
they
He
were.
didn't say the whole world again. He just said them.
No, Israel.
Yeah.
So hold on. Think about it. Covenant, there's a covenant with Abraham and Jacob and
Bro.
God's
Yeah.
chosen people, and God's like, "Very cool, I'm gonna kill all of them. I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill them all." God does that to his chosen people, you know? So you're telling me that, like, God can't change his mind about chosen people, right?
I don't
Especially
know,
when they're
man.
especially when they're idolaters and turn their backs on him. That's
Yeah.
when he wanted to start over, was when they were in that state.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, fine. I'll keep them
Yeah.
around because I got other plans that need to get fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have no problem with God having like a covenant chosen people, with him wiping them out or cutting them off, and then him like coming back to the covenant and being like, all right, let's finish up what we were working on before. Like
Yeah.
that's what I think the end time stuff is. I don't think that the whole Israel stuff, I don't think that God has like turned against them entirely. I still think they play a role in his
Hmm.
plan
Sure.
in the end times,
I think so too.
but I think that they're no longer like on some special pedestal of chosenness. I think we are. part of the chosen people, just
Yeah.
like Israel was.
100%.
That's it. So I don't hate them entirely. I mean, bro, how could I? You know?
I
Um,
love it.
bro,
Yeah.
is there anything in the chat? By the way, hey, we're just hanging out with everybody. So if people want to get involved in the convo or have questions or want to touch on anything, throw it down in the chat. We can also practice bringing people in.
All right, we could. This would be
definitely
a good night to
practice.
practice that. Yeah. So if you
Okay.
want to hang with us and actually get on, try to have a good connection, please, and like a good Wi-Fi connection or
It could be video or just audio. So don't be shy.
Yeah.
We'll give you like 5 minutes, hang out, we'll chat about whatever you want. So we could practice that because we've been wanting to implement that with guests. So this would be a good time to practice, just in a little hang sesh.
I am down. Yeah.
And just so we're clear, you're gonna manage that, right?
I'll try my best.
That's all I could hope for.
I'll just try my best. Should I put the link in the chat box?
If someone
says it,
well,
they're not going to know.
Who's not going to know?
Unless we keep saying it,
Do you know how to pin something in the chat?
Oh, yeah, I should be able to do that.
Be like, if you want to get pulled in or hang with us, what do they got to do? They got to email us?
No, I think they could just use the
Dennis,
link.
if we throw the link in the chat, anybody that clicks it is going to get pulled into the stream.
I think they go into a waiting room, though.
Purgatory?
Yeah, they go to purgatory, to Riverside Purgatory. That's awesome. Hang on the stream.
Did you see my you don't have a Twitter, do you?
No. Well, I mean, I think I just use our login sometimes if I need something, but I'd never go on there.
I just don't get Twitter. It's like the worst thing for me.
Yeah. When are we going to stop calling it Twitter and start calling it X?
Never.
I'd be so pissed if I was Elon.
I'm never calling it X. That's the stupidest name ever.
I don't think it's that stupid.
I think it's the stupidest name ever. W.
I thought Twitter was pretty dumb.
Well, yeah, but you could send a tweet. What do you send now? An X?
That's true.
That's retarded.
True. That's true. That is true.
You named it a letter. If you have a technology company, it's got to be something like Google, Twitter. Yeah, it's got to have like a little zing to it. And it doesn't even have to be a word. It could be like wobbable, Jenga. It could be anything. The guy calls it X. Come on. Stupid. But anyway, I don't get it. But dude, do you think, question for you, we kind of hit on this when we were talking to the Catholic dude, Connor. Do you think that when we are on the new earth for eternity with God, with Jesus, okay, we're transfigured, new heavens, new earth, okay, do you think we're still going to have the Holy Spirit in us?
Well, I mean, I think we become one. I think that God, he says that we become one. That's the point.
What do you mean?
One with the Lord, one with God.
It doesn't say we become one with God.
The book of John talks about this several times.
Bro, pull it up. What are you talking about? This sounds like some woohoo shit. You've been going down some weird.
No, I haven't. I've just been reading my Bible. I don't really listen to a lot. I do audiobooks, but they're all my audiobooks are like based on like spiritual practices, like disciplines, and like I read a lot of Dallas Willard.
You're a modern monk.
Yeah.
You should change all of your handles to modern monk.
I want to, dude, I have this like really annoying fly just keeps like messing with me, dude. Freaking Florida. What was it? I was gonna name it something else, man. Now I can't think about it. Think of it.
It'll come to you.
The monastic something.
Look up what you're talking about, where we become one with God. That is I don't know, bro. You sound like Jehovah's Witness or something.
John 17:21 ESV for you, Ben. That they may all be one, just as you, Father, and are in me, and I in you, that they may also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me.
Bro, and you understand that?
What 1 Corinthians?
No. Hold on. Don't keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going because
that's a reference to unity in the church. That has nothing to do with us becoming one with God in eternity.
that's the way you're reading it. I don't read it that way. The Unitarian
No, no,
Church.
no, no, no. Watch, like, look one verse prior.
Well,
Well,
I just have it up on chat right now, just the individual verses. But okay, we could go there. Let me go.
does
Can
anybody
I
else
keep
in the
reading?
chat? Yeah, yeah. Read before, like, read the context of why he's writing that. Does anybody else in the chat think that that verse in John is talking about how we'll become one with God, or is it talking about church unity?
All right, let's see. 21, 20. I didn't ask for these only, but also for those who believe in me through their word, that they may all be one. Okay, so there's no church talk.
No, no, not church. I mean, like the body, like Christian believers. We are the church.
Well, yeah. Well, who's he talking to? Of course, he's talking to his believers. He's talking to his children, right? Like, and he wants, just as you and I are one. What does that mean? Just as you, that's what he wants us to become. Let me keep reading. 1 Corinthians 6:17. But he who is joined to the Lord becomes one spirit with him. One spirit with him.
Yeah, we have the Holy Spirit in us.
Yeah, but we become one. I've been crucified where Christ is no longer I who live, right? 2:20, Christ lives inside
Oh
me.
boy. Oh boy.
John 15:4, abide in me and I in you.
Holy Spirit, bro.
Okay, but it's being one. It's being one with God, like in the Holy Spirit. That's fine. Call it God, Jesus, Holy Spirit.
Hold on.
That you might become partakers of the divine nature in 2 Peter 1:4.
So in the end time, like on
Romans
the earth,
6:5, for we have been united with him in death like his, we shall certainly be united with him in a resurrection like his.
yeah, we're going to be resurrected. We're united in resurrection. Without him, there's no resurrection.
Okay.
So on the new earth for eternity, what do you mean we're going to be one with God?
I don't know how it works, bro. I'm just reading what John talks about and how he wants to be one with us and us with him. I do believe that there's this union, there's this communing that happens with the Lord. I do believe that. I believe
Were
that.
Adam and Eve one with God?
I would say yes to yeah, even though that they were their own. I mean, just like the Trinity, there is one, but it's, in this mysterious way, it's not, but it is, but it's not, but it is. Being in our resurrected bodies, it is nothing like these bodies. I mean, I think we're going to be glowing. I think that's why they didn't know that they were naked before. That I believe that their bodies are actually glowing. Look at Moses when he came off the
No,
Mount Sinai.
they just
He
didn't
was
know what
glowing, dude.
they
His
didn't know what
face was
naked
glowing.
was.
I don't know. I think that
You think a baby knows that he's naked? No, it's just
no, but I don't think it's that. I think it was really something with their body. I don't think they look like us necessarily. I think Jesus's transfiguration was like he was glowing. I mean, every time you hear about like a transfiguration, it's an essence that it's a glowing. It's not just like what we see. It's different. I mean, we could go to those verses too.
I don't know, bro. I think you're spending a little too much time with the mystics.
I do like
A
the
little
mystics.
too
I do
much
like the
time.
mystics.
I know you
like
do. And it's getting a little weird here. You might be Orthodox. Speaking of which,
No,
let me see if this
that's not. That's
yeah, but that's how it starts. This kind of crap.
No, I don't believe that at all. I think
For sure.
I
That
think they
we're going to
try.
be one with God for eternity. That's weird.
Why is it
That,
weird?
that
Why is
Adam
it
and Eve
weird?
were glowing, so they didn't realize they were naked. That's weird. Then
Why is that
are
weird?
you saying that they would look down and they would just see glowing, so they don't see their boobs and wiener? Like
I
that's
don't know
why
what
they
they
don't know.
saw.
You think that when Adam looked at Eve, he wasn't like, damn, he just saw light, and so he didn't realize she was naked.
No, I think that there was like a form of a body for sure, but like I think it's not. I think they lost their glow. I think they lost their glow. I think that, and I
So
because of
gay.
Moses, it's not because of Moses and because of Jesus. When you hear
Bro, they were Jesus. First off, I don't think it says anything about him glowing after resurrection. And Moses and Elijah,
his
it
face
says
shone like the sun, and his clothes became
who's
white as light. This is Jesus. After the 6 days, Jesus took Peter and James. They went and John, his brother, and led him up a high mountain by themselves, and he transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. Bro,
Okay, while transfiguring.
what? He transfigured. They didn't
Bro,
say while, they didn't
hold
say
on.
after.
Okay,
That's what
sure. It
happened.
doesn't say while, after, during. It doesn't. Okay. But you think he walked away from there with his face shining like the sun and his clothes bright as whatever? So everywhere he ever appeared, that's what he looked like?
No, 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 no. I believe
No,
that
right
that was
there when he was
okay.
being
Yeah,
transfigured,
yeah, yeah,
he looked like that.
yeah.
And then
And
after
then
he was transfigured, was he
yeah,
still shiny and bright?
no, he went back to normal, our
For sure.
normal. Yeah. But I believe though that's what the transfigured state, I believe that that's what the glorified state looks like.
A constant glowy?
A constant radiant of light. Because look, and then in Mark 9, he talks about it again. His clothes became radiant, intensely white, as no one on earth could bleach them.
Yeah, it's the same event.
Dazzling white, Luke 9, 28,
I'm
29.
not disagreeing that there is light that is emitted when you are being transfigured, but I don't think you stay or maintain in that light. I just think that that's like, think about it. If something crazy happens and it's like a lightning bolt hits you, there's a huge thing of
It
light
just
that
fades.
explodes. And then after that, you come out of it and you're like, I have been transfigured.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that. I don't think it's like that at all. I think we have it's more light than you think. That's what I think. Same with Moses' face. I mean, his face was so bright they asked him to put a cover on his face.
Yeah, but
After coming down the
most,
mountain
uh,
for a
yeah.
while too. I mean, it stayed like that, right? And
Who,
uh,
Jesus's face?
Moses' face stayed like that for a while. It didn't just.
Oh yeah, but he didn't get transfigured.
I know, but he was with God for 40 days, and I'm. Why would his face turn white, bro, or like bright like that? Why would it?
Mm,
It's being in the presence of God. I really believe that. I believe that that's why that glow stuff is not foo-foo mysticky
what
stuff.
glow stuff? The
When I
Bethel
say
glow stuff? Bro, you're off
now
today.
that's
You are
crazy.
off.
That's crazy
You're
talk.
gonna start talking about gold dust next.
Gold teeth. What is it, like gold crowns and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
When you
yeah.
get one, I'm gonna be like, man, look.
I'd be like, I believe it. This is right up your alley.
Yeah, that's just how that's when I read. I mean, this is what I'm reading. This is what I think of.
I know, but
Anyway,
you gotta take it easy a little bit.
yeah, but you're saying that that's not the way it is. Why not? Like, why wouldn't it be? Like, when we see that he was transfigured and it was very specific on what he looked like, right?
Not that well, at the point of transfiguration. And then the rest of the time after transfiguration, he was not
Correct.
glowing.
Correct.
So what's the problem? I'm saying when you're transfigured, sure, there's glowing, and then you walk away and there's no more glowing.
But to live in that transfigured state, I think that that's what our glorified state is like.
But Jesus was transfigured. He lived in the transfigured state when he walked away. Why was he not glowing?
No, because I think that he was like back in this reality. I think that there was a mesh between. That's when he saw Moses and Elijah also on the mountain. I think that there was something that happened. There was some kind of like reality changed in that moment for all of them, and like a different dimension probably came into our dimension, and that's why Moses and Elijah appeared. I think like it's a dimensional thing that happens when there's angels that appear, and there's um and I think that the way like Moses and Peter and John and James looked at him and saw them, I think that they're looking into like almost like a mesh dimension or a
That's
blended
possible,
dimension.
but what I'm saying is when Jesus resurrected, was he in his transfigured body? Or did he have a resurrected body and a transfigured body? Two separate things.
I think two separate things.
Dude, nobody's ever believed that.
I don't know. I never even looked it up, but
Like no Christian has ever said that.
okay, maybe I'll be the
Because
first one. I'll write a
it's
book.
unnecessary. It's unnecessary. The resurrected body is the transfigured body. You know, they're synonymous. Resurrection, transfiguration. It's the same thing. There's no resurrection without transfiguration, and there's no transfiguration without resurrection. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like Okay, then which one do we get on the new earth? Do we get the resurrected body or do we get the transfigured glowy body?
I believe when we're glorified, we all have the transfigured
So
glowy
we're
body.
going to exist on the new earth in the glowy body.
That's what I think.
So all the passages that talk about resurrection, resurrected body,
hmm
you're thinking that's
It's
not
a,
what it's
it's
talking
a,
about.
it's a whole different body. It's not like ours.
I know, but we just talked about two bodies, a resurrected body and a transfigured body. But it
Oh,
literally talks about
oh,
a resurrected body that we will receive. But that's for eternity, that resurrected body. So I don't see a distinction. I don't see two bodies mentioned
no, I
anywhere.
don't either. I think it's the same. And we're
But,
and we're gonna be glowing.
but Jesus didn't walk around glowing. And you just said that he went from a transfigured glowing body into a resurrected non-glowing body. So two bodies, two separate bodies.
I think something happens in our dimension in this reality when at the end of the world, like when there's a new heaven, new earth.
I agree. The
Yeah,
transfiguration.
it's a different kind of like reality that we have.
Okay.
And
But
so
Jesus,
because
when
it wasn't there yet here on earth, I think that he had a normal like human body at that point. For some reason, it changed for him.
so he just didn't. So he is the
Well, it
only
obviously
one.
changed. It changed
So he's
because
the
he had
only one
he had a
that gets the
transfigured body.
resurrected. He's the only one that's going to have the resurrected body that's not glowing. And the rest of us, when we're resurrected,
He just had both. He could have both because he obviously did have both. He had a transfigured body and he had a resurrected body.
well, you're assuming that them describing him while being transfigured.
How do you assume otherwise? By bright light and like the sun shining like the
You're
sun. Like,
assuming that when he was being transfigured and the apostles that are watching it are describing his transfiguration,
yeah.
you're assuming that that action of transfiguration is a separate body. And then after that action of transfiguration is done, he jumps from that transfigured body into a resurrected non-glowing body. Just because he stops being transfigured and now is in the resurrected normal body, you think that those are two separate things, and I don't think they are. I don't think anybody's ever believed that.
I think it's only for Jesus. It maybe is two separate things
It
because
says we will be like he is. Like our hope, our whole thing is that we will be resurrected and transfigured like Jesus. Like that's the whole thing. He's the first fruits in resurrection. You know what I'm saying? The whole point is resurrection, and our whole eternity is based on like bodily resurrection. That's why I think it's really hard to make the case that you've got two different things going on, two different kinds of bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, man. I just I don't know. I think that because the earth is not in a transformed state yet, and not in heaven is not technically on earth right now. Beth said she's already glowing. Yes, I love it.
Beth from Bethel.
I don't know if it's Beth from Bethel, then she's glowing.
And she's definitely glowing
for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I like to think that we're going to be glowing, and
that's fine. You could think whatever the heck you want. I'm just saying what you're using to back it up. This is some like Catholic gymnastics you're doing, where it's like you see it says it, and you're like, dude, that's not really what it says. I can see why you're doing that, but it's not like
these are not things that are like, oh my gosh, you need to believe this, or someone else should believe what I believe. Sure. This is more like, yeah, this is kind of what I imagine. Dude, I'm sure you have a lot of imaginations and things that you imagine.
Sure. Like but I will say, I think it might be this. I'm not going to say like, oh, dude, for sure.
Right.
Like transfigured body, resurrected body. I think it's both. I'd be like, I entertain that. Yeah. But it's also just actually way more likely that it's the same thing. They're just describing the moment.
So what do you think our body's going to be like? You think your body? Do you think your body's going to be exactly like yours now?
No, for sure not.
Okay, so what do you think is going to be different about it?
We're going to be like the original, like Adam and Eve.
What does that mean?
Whatever describes Adam and Eve
What do
is
you
what we're
think
going to
that
be
is? Like,
like.
what to you, what would that be like?
Perfected humans.
Like,
Whatever
chiseled,
God,
like
whatever God created, Adam and Eve, right? First humans. And he's like, this is good.
right.
That's what we are going to be.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's it.
Um, okay, so you have no other, like, you remember we talked about, like, do they have belly buttons, things like that? Do you just think, like, does your brain stop there?
No, I
Do you
could
continue?
speculate. I could
Okay,
speculate.
yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? I mean, that's
Bro,
kinda what I'm
you
doing.
haven't said one time
Okay, you're
that
right. I
this is
haven't
just
I
an
did
idea.
you're right.
I'm just thinking about
Well,
this.
towards
No,
the
no,
end I
no, no,
did,
no,
but
no.
okay, speculation. I'm gonna get a hat that just I'm just speculating.
Put that on next time, or at least just start. Be like,
The
this is
spec
just a speculation. Okay, don't freaking egg me on for 15 minutes telling me this is what you believe, you psycho.
I'm only speculating.
Are you changing your name at the bottom?
Yeah. Only
Specu.
did I spell it right? Speculating.
I don't know. I'm terrible at spelling. Bro, whatever God called good is what is going to be good for eternity. He just resets. He just resets it. Easy peasy.
Do you think our dogs are gonna be in heaven?
Oh God, I hope so. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Well, hey, speculation.
I think they will.
Speculation,
I'm just speculating.
right? Speculation. The word
I
of the day.
It's speculation. And I
Speculation.
didn't mess it up. But I think they will. I
I
used to
did.
like never like be like, nah, no, I'm not gonna even
Yeah,
think
me
about
too. Me too. But that was before I had a dog. Hey,
it. Yeah.
and you know what I realized? Like, bro, the connection you have with a dog or with your animal, that feeling you have for them and like the relationship and stuff,
Mhm.
there's no way that that's like a bad, evil thing. I don't think that that's a result of sin. Imagine if Adam and Eve were able to have that relationship with all animals. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine freaking a lion and you're just like, oh God, I love you. And it's like licking you and like playing and lets you ride it, whatever.
I think that's how it was.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think that the affection you feel with your animal is something that God created and we've
I
lost it.
agree. I agree.
And I think he's going to reestablish that. And the way that they play together, dude, my chickens and my dogs would like hang out. And my
Mm,
chicken would come like peck my dog and it
yeah,
would get
so
up and
cool.
like wag it with its tail. And then it would come
Mm,
on the other side and peck it. What, you know what I mean? So when
yeah.
it talks about the lion and the lamb will lie down and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, my chicken and my dogs already do that, you know? So I think he resets it. Everything goes back to that. And those emotions and feelings we have for our animals, dude, I don't know. Listen, I don't know if our exact animals get resurrected. I
Mm.
don't think so. I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. But I think we will have those same feelings and emotions and sentiments towards whatever creatures are in there.
Mm.
Dude, does it even actually say that there's animal? Yeah, lion and the lamb will lay down. Are there any other passages that talk about animals in the new heaven, new
Maybe like
earth?
birds and stuff, but
Because even that,
um,
even saying lion and lamb will lie down, that doesn't have to be a literal thing.
yeah, I know.
That could be a metaphor.
That's what I would tell myself years ago. It's like, yeah, it's just a metaphor.
It can be. That could be a metaphor for it's going to be peaceful and quiet and tranquil and no killing, no, you know what I
Well,
mean?
Isaiah talks a lot about it. I guess Isaiah 11:6-9. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the young goat, and the calf with the lion, and the fattened calf together, and the little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall graze; their young shall lay down together, and the lion shall eat straw with the ox,
Dang,
like the ox. Sorry, the nursing child shall play over the hole of the cobra,
dang.
and the weaned child shall put his hand on the adder's den. I don't know what an adder is. They shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, for the Lord shall be full of the for the earth. Check this out. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Dang,
Oh, dude,
that's
so it
so
sounds like
cool.
it is going to be a theonomy in the end.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's going to be
Yeah,
inescapable. His like presence and knowledge and
yeah,
system and
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I love
All
it.
creation,
I
earth and
love
sea,
it.
land, blessing.
Dude, you know what's crazy? this desire to have like God's kingdom here on earth
Hmm.
is not unique to Christianity. The Jews want that, the Muslims want that. The
Sure.
Muslims want to do it by conquering the world and killing everybody that disagrees with them. And the Jews want to do the same
The
thing.
same thing.
They
Yeah.
also think that when the Messiah comes, the Messiah is going to kill everybody that's not Jewish, and only
Right.
the Jews will rule this planet.
Yeah.
And we're like, Christians are like, oh yeah, that's crazy. So Jesus comes back and kills everybody that's not Christian.
It's
Do you see how like
crazy. Yeah.
similar?
Yeah. Very similar. Well, that makes sense. I mean, the devil, every time he twists, he distorts, right? He's the father of
Yeah.
lies, but it's always a distortion of the truth.
Yeah.
Always from the original sin, right, to every day of my life. Um, it's the same thing. You see it even in politics and everything that's fed to us. It's always a distortion of the truth.
And it doesn't
And
have to be like a crazy tweak.
no, no, it could be so small because yeah, I've heard this analogy, like sin is like when you're shooting an arrow and you're missing the target. And if you're just off just a little bit, like the further you go away, it's like way off, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And so that's really interesting to me about like, I mean, that makes me like, oh, like, I don't like hearing that sometimes because I'm off a lot on stuff. And it's like, I don't want
Yeah,
to be off.
but that's
I know
fine.
the grace of God.
For sure.
But the more I read like the Old Testament, though, I have to wonder. Also, even like with Adam and Eve, or back to Adam and Eve, I guess with creation, it's how do they even work? Like
What do you mean?
what did work consist of for them? Because they didn't toil the ground, like they didn't have to. Like was work like like so simple? Was it just so simple, like working and growing and planting and pruning and all? Was it or what? Because we would labor in that, right?
Bro, I don't
Um,
think that that's all they did. You think perfect humans, all they did was like plant and dig holes and hell no. I bet you they were like doing more advanced shit than we do and we know. And I bet you anything that they were building like civilizations.
I don't know.
Oh, I do know.
I don't know.
I'm
Well,
not even
okay,
speculating.
hang on. No. Wait. Are you talking about ancient people, or are you talking about the new heaven, new earth, like what we're going to be
Bro, I'm
doing?
talking about Garden of Eden.
Well, Garden of Eden was just Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve
Yeah,
before. Okay, maybe not the Garden of Eden.
right. But
Maybe
then, but they weren't perfect after that anymore. Like there was no more perfection. So that's not a good example.
hold on, hold on. It says that God planted a garden. I'm sorry, it says that God planted a garden in the east of Eden.
Hmm.
Eden was an area, and then there was a garden within Eden. And it says that God planted that garden over there in the east. And
Right.
that's where he would meet with Adam and Eve. But I
Right.
don't think Adam and Eve only had access to the garden. I think they also had access to Eden,
To
which was a
Eden. Okay.
larger area. So I don't think that all they ever did was like go into the garden in Eden and just like hang out. I think God wanted them to.
But it
Dude,
was just
the
them two, though.
command, no. Hold on. Yes and no. Listen, the command to be fruitful and multiply was given before they sinned. How long do you think Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden with God before they sinned?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, in the Bible, it sounds like a few days.
Yeah, I mean, according to the Bible,
Like
it's
if
like
you just read it through, it just
that
sounds like a few
it
days.
was, yeah.
But no, there's no time indication how long they existed before they sinned.
Yeah, but it's something about
They could have been, bro. They could have been in there for like thousands of years
okay, so
before they sinned and got kicked out of the garden in Eden.
right, but just alone for thousands of years, or with their kids, like they actually multiplied in the garden. So that's the thing. I
Can you
don't
look
think
that
that
up?
anyone was multiplied in the garden.
Hold on. I know this
Yeah.
sounds like very rudimentary, but can you look it up to double check? Does it give us an indication of when Cain and Abel were born? Does it say that they were born after being kicked out of the garden?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, and I don't know if it's that specific. I know they only come into the picture, or they're only mentioned after they got kicked out, but does it say anything about when they were conceived?
So
Because the command to be fruitful and multiply was given before they ever sinned.
Genesis 1:28, that was given while they were still in Eden, but no children are mentioned in the garden story. After the fall, God sent them out of Eden to work the ground. Genesis 3. I know enemies what I can say.
I think, dude, I don't think it tells us when.
There's just nothing recorded.
It's nothing recorded, but in the narrative, Cain and Abel are only mentioned when they become relative to the story. You know what I mean?
Hang on, I think we'll have our answer here. Hang on a second.
Hit me. This is interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see why God would command them, okay, to be fruitful and multiply before they had sinned, and then they just never did. Until they get kicked out of the garden, and then they start sinning, and then they start multiplying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And here's the other thing, bro. Hey, when Cain kills Abel and Cain gets cursed and God banishes him, do you remember what Cain says? He says, "Whoever will find me will kill me." And God's like, "Oh, I'm going to put a mark on you so nobody kills you." There's a whoever. There's a
but that makes
peoples.
But that to me makes more sense. That it would have happened after they left the garden.
What would have
and
happened?
that they were born after sin entered, because even Cain was born into sin, right? So it had to have been after they were banished from the garden that Cain and Abel were born.
Why?
Because they didn't immediately after they sinned, right? After they talked to God about it, then they were banished. It was like almost immediate, right?
Immediately after they talked to God?
After they sinned, and then God's like, "Where are you, Adam?"
Yeah.
And then he gave him the new clothes, and then he cursed the ground, all that stuff, and then he banished him. It was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, but we're simply talking. So we're not talking about how soon after they sinned did they get kicked out. How far after being created did they sin?
Right.
Time elapsed between being created and being
Right.
and sinning.
But we're also discussing, when was Cain and Abel born? Was that in the garden or after? I believe it was after, because sin entered them. They were conceived in sin.
I mean, that's
all of humanity was conceived in.
This is all.
Yeah, but hang on, all of humanity was conceived in sin, right? So that it had to have happened after the garden, after they got banished out.
Humanity. I mean, even if they're not conceived, even if even if Cain and Abel, let's just say, aren't conceived in sin, if they were born before sin, the fact that they are. Why are you shaking your head, bro? You think we're gonna freaking glow for eternity?
Yeah, but I think I know where you're going. You think that? How do you think sin then entered into them?
Easy, because it became a spiritual state. Adam is still their federal head. He's still their representative.
I think it has to do with like the seed. I think it has to do with being birthed into sin.
You could say that, but I'm just saying, the same way that you're speculating that that's how it works, I can just as likely speculate that because they are in Adam, okay, because they're born of Adam and Adam's their representative, that they too would have, they too could have had sin indwell them, you know?
I don't think so. I think they need to be born in it.
Well, like either way, what we realize is that the Bible actually doesn't say when they were born, right?
Right. Well, yeah, it just talks in Genesis 4, when they introduce Cain and Abel. It says, "Now Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain. I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord. And again, she bore her brother Abel." And then it goes right into the story.
So it doesn't. So, okay, hold on. Can you read it?
Yeah.
Read from where they get kicked out to what you just read.
Get kicked out.
Because what is this way later?
Let me see. The fall was in chapter 3, and then Cain and Abel, chapter 4. Let me see the end of 3.
Does it say,
Therefore the
and
Lord God
then?
said, yeah. So then the Lord said, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now, lest he reach out his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat, which is crazy, right? And live forever. Therefore, the Lord God sent him out of the garden of Eden to work the ground which he has taken. He drove out the man and at the east of the garden of Eden, he placed the cherubim and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. And then right into Cain and Abel.
Okay, go on.
So that's the end of 3 that I read. How did I go to 4? Now Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain. And then she bore Abel, and then it goes right into Abel was.
Okay, hey, well, here's the thing. So it does say now
And now,
Adam knew Adam knew Eve. So
yeah, and that was after.
That's after.
Yeah.
So that's after. But here, this is my point. When Cain says, whoever finds me is going to kill me, there's other people already on the planet.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much time, does it say how old Adam was when Cain was born? Anywhere, ask GPT. Because obviously the Bible talks about how Adam and Eve get kicked out. Then after they get kicked out, they have Cain and Abel. Those are 2 of their sons. But they had to have been older when he killed Abel.
Genesis 5:3. When Adam had lived 130 years, he fathered a son in his own likeness after his image and named him. Oh, that's Seth. Never mind.
Nothing about Cain and Abel.
Cain was born before Seth, so likely many years earlier, since Seth was given a replacement. No.
Dude, that's wild. Hey, and if Adam and Eve had other children who had already populated other parts of the world, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I believe that's
why does it jump straight to Seth? What about their other children?
Well, the Bible does that all the time. It pinpoints certain people in a family or certain names in a family. And I think it's because of the line. I think Seth, it goes back to the line of Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. Because
because in like Noah come from Seth.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. The people that the Bible focuses on are the people that lead to Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody else is irrelevant
to
the story of the Bible.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's just interesting that okay, they have other siblings. Hey,
I'm sure they had a lot.
Dennis, who are older than Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel weren't their first children.
Right. Well, right. Well,
no. Hey, by the time Cain and Abel are still living with their mom and dad, and they Cain kills Abel, and now he's getting kicked out of his mom and dad's presence. There's already other siblings already living, inhabiting other places. And he's afraid that they're going to kill him. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, but I still believe that Cain and Abel were their first. Cain was the first and Abel was the second.
Bro, but Cain says, whoever finds me is going to kill me. Whoever?
Yeah, but he said that later. And so they could have had kids in that time frame. I mean, it wasn't like he was born and then he said that immediately.
Okay, hold on.
He was older when that happened with Abel.
How old do you think he was?
I mean, and old enough to be able to kill his brother.
15, 20. You kill your brother whenever you want. Hey, okay, let's say he's 20. You want to give him 20? Or you think even older than that?
I think older. I think like a lot older.
You think he's still living with his mom and dad?
Well, I mean, they're in their family and together. I think. Let me see.
But the rest of their family is gone. They're inhabiting other places on the planet. So much so, they're so far gone that they don't even realize, oh, hey, this is our brother Cain. Cain's afraid of them, that they're going to kill him. They don't even know who he is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if Cain and Abel are the first, let's say Cain and Abel are 40 when this story gets introduced that he kills his brother. Let's say they're 40.
Yeah.
They're 40. They're the oldest siblings. They're still with their mom. Doesn't talk about them being married. Okay. It actually talks about how Cain got married later. So they're 40. They're single. Their younger siblings have left and went and formed other civilizations and inhabited other places, but the older ones are still at home with mom and dad. They're not married. I don't think so. I don't think it adds up. You see what I'm saying?
That's good. I want to see where he says that line where other people will kill me.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the place and verse, but I don't think Cain and Abel were there first. I don't believe that. I think it's the same. I think, dude, here's what's crazy. Hey, bro, Jesus, we just said this. The genealogy, the people mentioned in the Bible are the genealogy of Jesus. So you're only mentioned if you're relevant to Jesus's lineage, right?
Yeah.
Because he traces all the way back to Adam through Seth. Cain and Abel are not required for Jesus's genealogy. Cain and Abel are a picture of something that happened in Adam and Eve's life. Okay. That is just like, I don't know. It's just extra info. It's not even relevant to the story of Jesus, is it? In any way? Like, how is it relevant?
I know that Jesus mentions the blood of Abel later, something about cries out.
Yeah, the blood of, just like the blood of Abel cries out.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just such a random story.
It is, yeah.
That doesn't have anything to do with Jesus later.
The way Cain says it in verse 14, behold, you have driven me today away from the ground, and from your face I shall be hidden. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. And I mean, I think that could be I think he could have said that also like for the rest of his life, right? It didn't have to be in that moment. It could have been like, because people were living a long time, right? I mean, they're living hundreds of years. And so I think he could have said like, in my life, whoever finds me at some point, someone can kill me. I mean, it could be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, there were more people on the planet by then too. Yeah, I find it, I don't know. Just because the Bible doesn't say anything about other kids prior to Cain and Abel, I don't know. And that's just what I was taught in Sunday school, that they were the first.
Freaking Sunday school, bro. How do we undo Sunday school?
Yeah.
I feel like Sunday school did so much damage.
Yeah, for sure.
So much like theological damage.
And I know that's true because when I talk to my daughter about stuff or when we read Bible stories together, she's like, I didn't know this, and they didn't tell me this. I just learned about this. And she goes to a Christian school too. And it's just, really, they leave things
I don't think it changes anything if Cain and Abel were not there first. I don't think it changes a single thing. This is just a magnifying glass on a situation that happened early on in Adam and Eve's life.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was the first murder. Maybe that was the magnifying glass. On that.
That's the first murder. That's why it's mentioned.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Maybe before that, nobody else like killed one another.
Yeah, and between brothers,
it's interesting that Cain says, "Whoever finds me will kill me." So he knows the concept of killing. Is it just because he just killed his brother?
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? We don't actually, dude. Does it say that it's the first murder? Or
maybe there's other killings. Yeah.
Can you ask GPT like, does the Bible anywhere specifically say that is the first murder? Because like, that's what I grew up thinking. But now that I'm pondering it, I don't even know if it's necessary. Again, it could just be a freaking a random story.
So it's just the very first act that was biblically, recorded.
So this is the first time murder is mentioned in the Bible, but it doesn't mean that it has to be the first murder in human history.
Yeah, again, it's just a theological emphasis. Like the text treats Cain's act as the first shedding of innocent blood, making Abel the first human victim of murder. The
But it
blood of
doesn't
righteous
specifically
Abel.
say that.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, yeah.
Shoot, man.
Um,
Freaking Sunday school boned us. That felt board.
this is everything I'm reading is always is just an emphasis, a narrative. This is what we think it is because it's only recorded there first, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right,
man.
right.
I really do believe we read the Bible wrong. Like,
I think so too.
when I read it slowly and stop and just like think about like almost every couple sentences, like just stop, dude, it changes things. I did that with Annabelle this Sunday, and we were reading the first chapter of Jeremiah, which is so awesome, by the way. And then we just did that. We just stopped as we would read, and we would just stop and ponder and consider. And dude, it took us probably 30 minutes, no, maybe 20 minutes or so to get through the first chapter.
Hmm.
And it was awesome. She's like, Dad, can we do this every time? Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it was like just sitting there and like thinking it through and talking about it. And why do you think that? And why this? And what did it say about this? Kind of like what you and I are doing now a little bit too. I think
it's the
like
best.
that's the way to study the Bible. It's just like to look at,
It's the best.
and yeah, it's so great, man. Even
Dude.
reading Numbers right now. Numbers is a really fascinating book, actually.
Yeah, I love Old Testament.
Yeah, Old Testament's cool.
Okay, so what have we learned? We've learned that God commanded Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply before they ever sinned. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that Cain and Abel may not have been their first. We're speculating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're only speculating. So they may not have been their first, but it does say that after they got kicked out, that's when Adam and Eve knew his wife and Cain and Abel were born, right?
Right. It's just the very first time.
But it's just super, super weird to me. How long did Adam and Eve spend in the garden with God before they sinned? Because in the story, it sounds like a night. It sounds like overnight. But
Yeah.
I don't think it was overnight.
No, I mean, you got to also understand. Well, I don't know. With Adam and Eve, maybe. I know Adam obviously was there for a long time because he named all the animals, right? There was a lot of that going on. There was no worker suitable for him. I mean, some time had definitely passed before Eve was created.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's not a lot that says after what, it was just Eve was created and then sin, and then out of the garden and then murder. Like that's literally like how we read it.
I think that it was a 24-hour period. I don't think that
I don't think so
I
either.
don't think Eve was created.
But I don't think they had kids in the garden though.
Okay, hold on. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I do believe that they were kicked out of the garden though really quickly. Like really quickly.
For sure. Right after they sinned, God's like, hey, where are you? They're like, we're hiding. And he's like, get out.
Yeah.
I don't think time elapsed there. I'm saying time elapsed from the time Eve came into the picture until they sinned. Time elapsed. But God still had commanded them to be fruitful and multiply. And they're like, nah, we're good.
Right. No.
Bro, you don't think they started banging like the second this chick was freaking created? You don't think Adam was like, suitable helper?
Dude, that must have been so weird. Like
what?
The first time, like that they did it, like the very, very first time, like being aroused for the very first time because he was aroused. He was never aroused.
I was like,
right? What is going on? Because that's like there was no suitable helper for him, right?
What's happening?
Like that means just like nothing aroused him, and then all of a sudden,
for sure, nothing aroused him.
He created Eve, and then it's just like this beautiful woman.
Yeah, bro. But do you think he had to do you think he knew what sex even was? No way.
No. I mean, unless
God told him
unless he saw the animals do it, and then he was like, unless the animals were doing it, and then he's like, that's how they multiply.
You think he was watching animals mate, and he's like,
for sure, dude. I think he's like, oh, she's got that, and I got this. Yes, we're doing it.
Why don't I have one of those?
I mean, Isn't that crazy to even like have that conversation? Like did he have that conversation with God? Did God like explain to him like what to do? I mean, that's
I'm
just
pretty sure the birds and the bees? That was the first birds and the
that
bees
was the first
conversation.
person being
Yeah.
conversation.
I bet you anything God's
He
like,
had to have,
"Hey,
right? I mean,
that goes there.
right.
Don't miss."
And
You know?
I mean, is she like getting pregnant immediately though? That's another thing
For
too. Like,
sure, for
right?
sure.
Like that
No,
sperm is going to
that's
be
dude, that's
top
Dennis,
rated
that's
sperm. That
what
egg's got
I'm
to be
saying.
fertile. Like,
Bro,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Listen,
It makes a lot of sense what you're
the
saying now. Like,
second they had sex, this chick gets pregnant.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
it's got to be
Guaranteed.
first time.
Okay?
Yeah, he's
So,
got no pullout game.
none.
Right,
That doesn't
that's not
exist.
happening.
He hasn't seen an animal pull out. Like, there's no way.
Right.
So God tells them, he commands them, be fruitful and multiply. And then Eve's like, boom, banging, right? And he's like, and then what happens? They don't have kids until they get kicked out.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
pretty sure
impossible.
she gets knocked up
It's
like
impossible.
ASAP. So what? Then is she pregnant with their first child when they get kicked out? Or has she already had some? I just find it so hard to believe.
Man, I never
The
thought
Adam
of
and
it.
Eve's this has bugged me for a long ass time.
You've
I
thought of
just want
this?
hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, I just find it so hard to believe that Adam and Eve were only in the garden for like the only thing you could say is they got kicked out right away before they even freaking banged or she was already pregnant when she got kicked out. Dude, maybe that's why she wanted the apple. She had cravings.
um,
You see what I'm
it,
saying?
it makes okay. I mean, let's think about it from this point
There's a
too.
lot going on.
If Adam and Eve were together in the garden for a very long time, or for a long time, before before they sinned,
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't a long time. Maybe see this is why it does make sense. Maybe that it wasn't a long time. Maybe the sin actually happened really quickly after she was
Dude, so
created because she didn't have enough time with the Lord to, I don't know, not to not know better, right? But I don't know. Adam had, I don't know, but because even Adam just sat there, he didn't do anything. He stood by and watched.
this is
Yeah, I don't know.
so that's what I'm saying. It'd be kind of weird that God creates Eve and then within 24 hours they're kicked out. That would
Yeah.
suck. Don't you think Adam would be like, dude, I would have been better off without her. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I was good.
For sure. For
I
sure.
was good. Now this
Yeah.
freaking chick,
Yeah.
bro, it's
Yeah.
always
Always the women.
there's when something always goes wrong, bro. Something always goes wrong, I'm just saying.
What a
Uh,
interesting thing to consider. I like this
so
conversation.
it would just be weird. This is my whole point. Okay, I don't know if they had kids
It's weird.
before.
I agree.
I don't know if they had kids before. I agree there could be theological implications if they did, but I'm just saying it would suck if Eve comes into the picture and within 24 hours they get kicked out, and they've never had sex before they got kicked out.
Right. See, that to me is like that's a
big one, bro.
that's a big
That's
one.
a big one.
I can't just get over that one
Yeah.
because it would almost have to
There's
be
no way, Adam.
immediate.
There's
It has to
no
be
way.
immediate.
Yeah.
They're banging.
It was
They're
immediate.
banging.
It was immediate.
There's no way that
Oh, yeah.
after him naming all the animals and hanging out in this perfect place
Yeah.
for a while, and all of a sudden, and then God puts him to sleep, and he wakes up, and he has this beautiful creature in front of him, and God's like, "There you go. That's for you." Oh
And
man,
even in Sunday school, when the teacher would leave and we had the felt board and Adam and Eve were on the board, hey, trust me, it was immediate. Like,
oh man,
I acted that out for the class.
I could see
And
that.
it's because my mom was the Sunday school teacher, so I could do anything.
I wouldn't. That would make me not do that if my mom or my dad are there.
No way.
You're hilarious. I love how open you are, man. I don't know. These are good
It's a
conversations,
wild one, right?
Yeah. This is. I can't believe it. I can't believe I've never thought about this,
dude. But then, because of the "whoever finds me will kill me" verse, there's some Christians that believe that God created other people.
Yeah, I've heard this too, and I haven't really dealt like really dove into this at all. I didn't care to, but I have heard that Adam and Eve were the first created, but then God created other humans, um, and that's why Cain was able to say what he said, and
Just
that's
don't know if I believe that. You could just if Seth was born at 100, what, 30 years old, right? Let's say
right
130.
when Adam was 130.
When Adam was 130,
Yeah.
Seth is born. Cain and Abel could have been born. Bro, Seth could have already been alive when Cain and Abel, like when it went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
I bet you anything outside while the women were pregnant back in the day, they couldn't get pregnant. But outside of while they're pregnant, anytime they hooked up, they'd get knocked up. I
Oh,
bet you when they had sex, they would get pregnant.
oh.
There
mm,
wasn't just like recreational sex.
right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I kind of want to believe that too. I don't see why that. I mean, unless the fall really had something to do with that too. But
I mean,
I
hey,
think it's
bro,
more
think
like
about
just
it.
bad food and bad, upbringing, like the way we have,
Well,
like our
he
bodies are
said
so destroyed
you'll
now.
have pain in
Yeah.
child labor. So like
Yeah.
stuff happened to the women
True. True. True.
insides
True. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of sin.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Before the plan was
Yeah.
they just like pop out. And you're like, oh, dope.
So maybe they didn't always have a baby
Huh?
before. Sorry, after sin entered, maybe then they didn't always have babies like right
Hmm.
away.
I don't think it was like, I don't think that, I think they had pain, but I think I think we've degenerated over time.
That's what I would
You know what I
initially
mean?
believe. Yeah, because of the way we treat the environment and our bodies and
But
our and
if
foods.
sex, we know this from the animal kingdom and from ourselves, sex was meant for reproduction.
Right.
So I
Right.
think if the perfect humans had sex, they would pop out a baby. I don't know
Yeah.
if bro, did it take 9 months
Ooh.
while it was in the perfect? It might have still taken 9 months.
But again, the way we read the Bible from Sunday school times, right? It's the Adam and Eve were created. No banging, uh, sin,
Sin,
and then banging,
then banging,
then
kids.
kids,
Yeah,
and then murder and stuff. But then in that time frame between out of the garden and let's say their first kids, I think that there's enough. I think we can say that Cain and Abel. There's a good chance that Cain and Abel were not the first.
I don't think they're the first. In that Sunday school version you just laid out, there's no
Yeah.
room for whoever finds me will kill me.
Right. There's no room for that.
There's no
There's
explanation
got
for
to
that.
be a gap between getting kicked out and Cain and Abel being born.
I think Cain
There's
and
got to
Abel.
be a big gap there.
I think Cain and Abel are mentioned for whatever relevant
Right.
point God is trying to make in the Bible, but it's not like a systematic
Yeah.
lineage of Adam and Eve. Cain
Yeah.
and Abel.
I'm okay.
then
I'm
Seth.
comfortable saying that and agreeing with that.
I think
I'm
that
very
makes sense.
comfortable. Yeah.
I think
And
that makes
that
sense.
and
You
that
know,
makes
bro, if Seth is
the other
100,
verse makes sense.
if Adam is 130 when Seth is born,
Right. There's a lot of time, dude. I mean, let's say even if it was 50 years that gone by between
that's
getting kicked
insane.
out to Cain and Abel being born, 50 years of people of them having babies and then
Yeah.
and they were having babiys really young too. So their kid, those girls at maybe 12, 13, 14 are getting pregnant, right? I don't know.
Popping them out.
Right. Maybe even younger, who knows? Because they were
Hey,
still the world
who
was, even though
knows,
sin
bro?
was present, the world wasn't corrupted yet. I mean, because you go back into fast forward to the spies going into the land of Canaan, coming back with the grapes, right? They're big ass grapes, right?
Big ass
So the environment hasn't changed drastically like it has now, right? And things, there's still so much going on there. And I think like things grew quicker and better and stuff. So I
For
think
sure.
even the bodies were still more healthier
Bro,
back then.
they're still in Eden. They're just not in the garden
Right.
in Eden.
Right. Good
You know what
point.
I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. But so 50
yeah.
years, even if 50 years, so it could have been a number of years, but it could, let's say 50,
Oh, bro,
that's still enough time
thousands
for,
of people.
yeah, that can be born in those 50 years.
Thousands of people.
Yeah. And so
For
it makes
sure.
a lot of sense for that verse, whoever finds me will kill me.
Hey, check this out. Oh my God, do this. Ask ChatGPT to do some math for us. Say if, okay, how do we word this? Check this out. Say if there's two people who have one child per year for 50 years. Okay.
And each
So-
of their children.
And each, well, hold on. Not each of their children, because you'd have to have boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl,
Oh,
boy,
yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Okay. So for 50 years, they're having children. They're having one a year, right? And we're being generous because they should be having one every 9 months.
Right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. Wait, say every 9 months. Not one a year. Say they're having a child every 9 months.
Mhm.
Bro, this is the funniest freaking like Bible math.
We got.
Okay.
I know where you're going. We have to
Okay,
learn how
okay.
to. We got to read.
Okay. So they're having a child every 9 months for 50 years, right?
Mhm.
And say 50% of their offspring is male, 50% of their offspring is female. And the offspring can reproduce starting at the age of, I'm going to say 13.
Okay.
I even want to say earlier.
Let's go
Because
with 12.
girls have babies now at 12
Yeah.
and 13.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Let's just say.
without the genetic decay, I bet you they were having kids at like 10.
Yeah.
Maybe-
I believe that. I believe
I
that.
don't know. That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, say 12. Let's just be
Yeah.
generous here. How many kids would be born in 50 years? Bro, I want to say like 2,000. And so
You're gonna say 2000.
I'm going to say 2,000.
I didn't press enter yet.
Shit, it might be more. This, you know what this is?
I don't know. 2000 seems like a high number. I don't know.
You think it's less? You know what this is? This is compound interest, bro. Do you know when you put money in the bank and then the bank gives, or in the stock market, and they give you 10%, but then you leave the 10% invested. And so every year now you have 110,000. Then the next year you have 121,000.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly right.
This is compounded breeding right here. Oh my gosh.
Several thousand.
I told you. It's going to be
50 years under these assumptions, because it goes through the whole math stuff.
What's the number?
The total number of children would be several thousand, not just dozens.
No. Give me an exact number. Freaking ChatGPT, lazy ass GPT. Stupid, bro. We handed it a perfect scenario and it says several thousand.
You're hilarious, dude.
That's so annoying. Why are you here? I said several thousand, and I'm not a freaking large language model.
3,055.
No way. Bro, hey, that's
just 50 years. That's just 50 years.
50 years. And that's if they were only able to start at 12.
Yeah.
And if they're only having one child every 9 months. But we don't know that we don't know that that's the standard back then. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about like twins and triplets and stuff?
No, 9 months. It might have not taken 9 months.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
They might have been able to have kids before 12. Hey, and we're not accounting for twins and triplets.
Yeah, if that even existed.
Did that even exist back then?
In 100 years, which is still possible.
This is going to be like 10,000. No, way more. 100-something thousand.
Bro, 275,933.
That's in 100 years?
At this rate with the
Okay, Dennis, check this. Hey,
so cool.
Holy crap. How much time elapsed from Adam to Noah?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Watch this. Bro, there's going to be billions of people on the planet when the flood came. Billions.
And this is just, well, yeah, that's coming from one. Okay, never mind. 1,056 years from Adam's creation to Noah's birth.
Hey, now make it do the math for 1,056. There's going to be billions. But this doesn't include like people that die and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we'll take a huge haircut off the top. But watch. If everything was perfect for 1,056 years on this model, oh my God. It's going to be like, cannot compute, error.
It's going to be a
It's gonna be
massive.
billions.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy, dude. Oh my gosh.
Hey, hold on.
How did we not talk about this before?
But hey, how long is this thinking that people are breeding for? Because Adam and Eve were having kids till they were like 700. Or they were living a lot longer. They were probably having kids until they're 400, 500 years of age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you get a number yet for?
It's still thinking.
No, we broke it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Still
God.
thinking.
Oh, we broke it.
Today has been a little off for me though, but with chat.
With chat.
Yeah, it's been hanging a little bit.
Have you seen those videos of people that ask it to count to 1,000,000?
Yeah.
They're so funny.
And it won't. But then like the male voice did. Did you see that?
Yeah,
The female voice won't. But
she didn't.
yeah, it's still
Is it
analyzing,
still?
dude. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a big ass number. I don't know. I want to also find out how old was Adam when he had his last child, if that's possible.
Open a new chat window.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. Dude, this stuff is... Okay, here's the thing. I'm just exploring the possibilities that the text allows for. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I believe this. I'm not saying we need to go out and preach this and teach. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying like we need to believe they had kids in the garden. I'm just saying, does the text allow for that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And if it does, like, okay, so that's a possibility. Might be wrong. I don't... Did it come up?
It says my simulation for 1,056 years, Adam and Noah got so large that it timed out, which shows you just how explosive exponential growth becomes across that much time. I don't even want to rerun it, but it's
no. Just say, give me a ballpark. Okay. You don't need to calculate the exact thing. Just extrapolate and give me a ballpark.
Okay. And then Adam lived to be 930 years old.
Yeah.
So that's just that alone.
I don't think it's going to tell you when he had his last kid.
No, they said that it doesn't after it talks about Seth.
Bro, then ask it this.
Quadrillions.
Okay, that's a little too much.
Realistically, you'd be looking at quadrillions of births because exponential doubling keeps compounding across generations.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but we didn't take into account death, and so like
death, wars, killing, all of that
is a realistic number when adding
deaths and wars. Hey, but here's the thing. But if you tell it right now, however they are able to reproduce into the 300-400 year mark, it's going to be quadrillions again. It's going to make up for the deaths.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
So if they were able to breed for hundreds and hundreds of years, I wonder if it's calculating right now. Is it only calculating everybody breeding for 50 years?
Yes. Well, 100 years. 100 years.
Huh. I wonder how long it's... I wonder how long...
200 years. So there's an exponential projection. 50 years, 3,000, 100 years, 276,000, 150 years, 25 to 30 million. 200 years.
150 years?
200 years, billions already possible.
Okay, but hold on. But in 250 years, there's billions, right?
In 100... Yes.
Okay, but is it still saying that Adam is reproducing that whole time for 250 years? Or did Adam stop reproducing at 50 years?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude, I love it.
I'm assuming he stopped.
At 50 years? Everybody reproduces for 50 years?
I think it's at 100 because the last one we did was 100 years.
Oh my God. I freaking love it.
Either way.
Dude, we're so clueless about like the pre-Noah stuff. We're so clueless. From Adam to Noah, we have no idea what happened in between there.
Yeah.
Zero idea. Zero. Dennis, where do you think all the freaking oil is? Or where do you think all the oil comes from out of the ground? Where do you think that's from?
I think I knew this. It was like bodies or something, like bones
Well,
or something of humans or something.
oil is organic
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
Like it's made from dead organic matter
Yeah, dead matter. Yeah.
in the earth, like
Right.
buried under sand and dirt.
Yeah.
Right. So if there's a flood,
Is that why there's so much oil, like in the Middle East? Because
that's probably where more people lived.
yeah.
Wherever the big population centers were that got buried by the flood, by the mud of the flood. Do you realize how much mud would be moving around if there was worldwide calamity? Everything would be buried under a mile of mud,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But I'm saying all the oil that's in the earth right now is dead organic matter, plants, animals, humans. That's it. From before the flood.
Right.
That's oil. That's the oil. And we've been pumping that shit out for 100 something years.
Probably way longer than that. No, not way longer, but longer than that.
Like black crude oil for what are we? 2009? Yeah,
I
probably
mean,
since like the 1800s.
Not earlier? Nothing earlier?
What used oil before? Like what used crude oil?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's really just the
It only became valuable
industrial revolution. Right?
Cars.
Industrial revolution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's like an insane infinite supply of oil. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, let's do more math. With GPT. How much oil does it estimate is actually in existence today in the ground? How much oil? Oh my God. I hate math, and I think I just learned to love it. If you can take math questions and make them like super, super interesting.
Right. Yeah.
And then I don't have to do the math. I could just ask them.
We could just type it in.
Then it's cool. Then math is cool.
Human remains?
No. Wait, how much
minerals?
oil?
They're asking me if I want to clarify, are you asking about human remains or minerals resources? If you scientists estimated, what is it doing? Hang on.
No, because I want to find out.
Okay,
how
so
much
minerals, metals, oils, 1.5 trillion barrels of proven reserves.
That's how much is in the earth?
It's got to be way more than that.
What did you ask it?
How much is estimated to be in the ground? Oh, that's why.
See, bro. Okay, hey, here's what we're going to find out. How much oil is estimated to be in the ground?
I forgot. I left the word oil out.
Oh my God. That's why I'd ask mineral, human remains. Like, what are you asking for?
Proven recoverable oil, known and accessible.
No, all oil.
Total recoverable oil.
No, all
oil in place. All oil present geological. Estimated suggests a massive 3.5 to 4 trillion barrels.
Okay, that's a lot.
Oh, wait, hang on. Just from oil sands deposits, majority in Canada and Venezuela. Overall, geological deposits total as high as 6 trillion.
6 trillion? Hey, and that's just how much is left, not how much has been pulled out. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now ask this, Dennis, ask this. How much organic material is required to make 1 barrel of oil? And now we're going to reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're trying to find out how many people died.
Well, I guess it wouldn't just be people.
It's going
to give us everything. It's going to give us plants, animals, everything.
Yeah, 1 barrel, 42 gallons. 136 kilograms. So 1,360 metric tons of plankton, algae, organic material compressed and transformed over millions of years. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So how many kilograms?
Well, the metric tons now, between 1,000 to 1,500 metric tons of ancient organic material.
Ancient organic. Get the heck out of here. It's
Yeah.
covering up. It's covering it up. Hey, okay, so take that metric tons measurement, okay, and say how many metric tons at this ratio of organic material is necessary for us to have 10 trillion barrels of oil. And tell it to like spell it out, not to give you a bunch of zeros. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's going to have to be like, it's going to be like a billion trillion metric tons of organic material. That's how much shit died during the flood. Huh? Huh? You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Totally.
Bro, imagine
It's thinking it's going to be a while.
all the organic material. Okay, hey, so what we see now, like, oh, look at these 5 types of trees outside, and look at these 8 different animals around me right now. Or you go to the zoo, there's 200 animals, there's 5,000 insect families. I don't know. Do you realize how much more stuff existed before the flood? Do you realize how many like plant species we lost during the flood? Do you realize how many animal species we lost during the flood? We only see the remnants, the stuff that was either like brought on the ark, right? Or did he take seeds too?
He did. He did take
Or
seeds.
the stuff that survived after the flood somehow, like plant wise. But I bet you we've lost so much stuff that doesn't exist anymore because it was wiped out during the
Didn't he
flood.
take 2 of every kind according to his likeness?
Yeah, but there could have been the same way now we have 3,000 dog species. There could have been 30,000 dog species. And he took 2 dogs. Do you understand?
Right.
Because just because he didn't take a poodle and a chihuahua and a Rottweiler, he still took 2 dogs. He could have taken 2 chihuahua and it meets that criteria.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
See what I mean? So we've lost so much diversity in like animal species.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know what I'm
within the
saying?
species. Yeah,
Within the
diversity
species.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know where he didn't have to take 2 of everything? Hey, from the sea.
Right.
So arguably that's where we should be seeing some like crazy stuff.
Well, that's where we do see it. We just
and
don't.
that is where
Yeah.
we see crazy
We
stuff.
can't even get deep enough to see. The deeper we get, the more crazy crap we see. Dude, it's nuts down there, man.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So just that's a great example of like what it could have been here on Earth.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And even I believe the same with plant life too. I think it's the same. Yeah. This thing is. It says
We
the
broke it
calculations are
again.
too large for brute force multiply.
No, just say ballpark.
It would
Ben.
take 13 quadrillion, 600 trillion metric tons of ancient organic material to generate 10 trillion barrels of oil. 13 quadrillion, 600 trillion.
Bro.
Yeah, I mean,
wait, ask it this. Ask it this. How much organic material is estimated to be on this planet right now? Let's compare the planet now to then. Bro. Dennis, I bet you it was more stuff back then. I bet you there's less than 16 quadrillion metric tons on the face of the earth today. I bet you it was more stuff and more people than today.
It's giving me like some estimated carbon content.
Get that freaking greenhouse gas crap out of my face. What did you ask it?
How much organic material is estimated to be on this planet now?
That's a really good question. Why isn't it giving you an answer?
550 billion tons of carbon. Why did it go to carbon?
Be like, I didn't. Switch your voice to a male.
It'll like give me the answer like that.
I know.
Okay, I'm done asking about organic material.
What? No. Hold on. No, go back, please.
Okay.
This is the last question.
Okay, well, how? Tell me.
Say the same thing, but be like, I'm asking specifically for whatever. For whatever you're asking.
Don't want carbon. Let's see if this works. Okay.
Because
It
this
goes
is.
back in the carbon. I don't know why it's.
Did you tell it? I don't want you to
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
Okay, email
Okay.
Elon.
Okay. Summary. Put differently, Earth supports about 1.1 trillion metric tons of living organic matter today.
Hold on. What?
If that's right, then there
1
was
trillion metric
1.1.
tons?
Yeah.
And there was 16 quadrillion before?
13. What was it? Hang on. Dang it. Where'd it go? 13 quadrillion. 600 trillion. So 13 quadrillion. And then we have 1 trillion. Something's got to be off.
Something, bro, our math is off. This is why I hate math.
Okay.
This is why I still hate math.
All right. Yeah, I'm checked out of the math already. I can't do it anymore.
Okay, but did you see what I was trying to do?
Hit my limit. Yeah.
It
for
made
sure.
sense. Can you imagine if we like broke through right now and like discovered some wild shit?
Well, I mean, I think that it's fair to say, because I mean, again, didn't they have more of a longer span then? Like
Yeah.
from creation till Noah. How many years was that? What did we say? 1056.
56.
Yeah, well, I guess not then. Yeah, no, I'm trying to justify it in my head, but I can't.
Bro, and as usual, the math exhausts me.
Yeah,
and now I'm burnt out.
Yeah, no.
And I didn't even have to do the math. All I had to do was think about the math.
How to ask the math, how to ask the question to get the math right.
Dude, I freaking failed. I got expelled from university. I failed intermediate algebra 3 times.
Wow,
That's how much I hate math.
I have a reoccurring nightmare that I have to go back to my accounting class.
Ugh.
I hated accounting. That was like the worst for me. And
in college you did accounting?
Yeah, I did accounting 1 and 2 in college, and I failed the second one, and for some reason I never went back to pass it, but they gave me my diploma, or whatever, my degree, and degree, and I don't know how. Like I couldn't get the degree without passing algebra or accounting 2.
Yeah.
And so I have this like nightmare that I don't know why. It's weird. I don't care. I could care less, but like it's just like a nightmare that I have.
I couldn't care less.
What did I say?
I could care less. No, this is a pet peeve of mine. People are, and they tried defending it. Please
care
don't.
less.
No, Dennis.
Couldn't care less.
If you could care less,
could care less,
then it means you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
If you couldn't care less, that means you've already reached the bottom of how much you care. You couldn't care any less. If you could care less, it's like, I'm breathing. You're just not saying anything. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get that too.
Dude, there's so many people that'll defend it though and be like, no, it means that I could care less. Like there's less that I could care.
But then why would you say
yeah,
it
but
then?
what are you saying then? You're not saying anything.
Right.
That's a statement.
Yeah. I just didn't even think about the couldn't
care less.
I didn't think about that at all. All right.
Well, bro.
So what did we learn today? We learned that
a lot.
That there was a bunch of people.
Sunday school's wrong about everything.
Yeah, that there was thousands of people. Thousands of people. 276,000 possibly in the first 100 years.
100 years.
Yeah.
In a very realistic reproduction model.
Oh yeah, very realistic. And that it would even include death. Because we were very, very we were very conservative, right? With our number.
So what was the math again? 50 years of reproduction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
was 50
Everybody's breeding
years,
for 50 years. You s
3,000
you start
people.
you start with you start at the age of 12.
Mhm.
So from 2 people in 50 years, you get 3,000?
Yes. And then in 100
Wow.
years, 276,000.
Wow.
In 150 years, 25 to 30 million.
Dennis,
So
so when Seth was born at
exactly. Yeah.
130,
You have
there's
20
15,000,000 people.
minimum. Minimum. That's
So
crazy.
of course, when Cain says, "Whoever finds me will kill
Yeah.
me,"
Yeah.
there's a lot of whoever's out there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're already killing each other.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't that didn't that throws the other option out of the way, like, the whole,
Wild.
like, there's more people created. No, Adam and Eve were first and only created by God, and then everyone else came through birth.
There'd be way more people on the earth.
There'd be way more people.
Way, way,
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
more people on the
Yeah.
earth.
So that I think that this is a good
The
exercise because
the
that
math
takes it out.
doesn't add up.
Yeah. It takes that out
I
of the
love math
equation for
again.
sure. Right. So, yeah, and now yeah, so we have a good, reason for
Dude, and the
saying that.
thing is, hey, Cain says, "Whoever finds me will kill me," right?
Mhm. Mhm.
If he's the first murder, why does he assume anybody else knows what killing is
Right, 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 and that they will kill him.
and that they will definitively kill me?
Yeah, yeah,
He probably already knew, hey, other people are killing each other.
yeah,
And he did it to Abel. You know what I mean? I always
yeah.
thought, dude, I used to think that Cain killed Abel on accident. Like he was just mad and he didn't know what murder was. So
Mm,
he's like, oh, I'm so mad at you. And he like hits him.
mm.
And then Abel just doesn't get up. And there's like blood coming
Yeah,
out of his head.
no.
And he's like, what the hell? You know?
Yeah, no, I mean,
I
based
don't
on
believe
what he
that
said
I
when the
don't believe
Lord
that
asked
anymore.
him, yeah, no, but based on what he said when the Lord asked him, "What do you think?" Or "I'm not as my brother's keeper," right? Like, his attitude towards God. That to me is also kinda crazy, right? Like, God asked him God asked him, "Where's your brother?" And he's like, "I don't know. My brother's keeper?" Like, "Wait, what?" Like, the audacity. Right? I mean, the Israelites had the same problem. Like the audacity of the Israelites to say what they said over and over, the murmur, the way they did, the way they, Moses wasn't back down for 40
They
days, so we're gonna
still
build a
have the
cat.
same problem.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll include
Did
myself in
you
that too. But
did you
still,
see
it's
have you
pretty
seen
crazy, man.
listen, we could be polite and like, "Oh, I'm the big sinner
Yeah.
too." For sure. Yeah, I'm not disregarding that. Do you think that you're greater than God? In
Of course not.
all your wickedness, do you claim to be greater than God?
In all my no.
Of
Oh,
course
I
not.
see what you're saying. Yeah,
But you
yeah,
know
yeah.
who does think they're greater than God? The freaking Jews.
They say that they're greater
They
than God.
say that they're greater than God. And you know why? Did I not send you that video of Rabbi Shmuley
That
where
guy,
he's like, that guy's the Antichrist.
I
Hey,
can't stand
where he's like, I, as a Jew, am greater than God because I, Israel, wrestled with God and was
him.
victorious.
Oh
I will
yeah, I do
defeat you,
remember that.
God. What?
That's crazy, man.
Dennis, yeah, I get it. We sin and stuff, right?
Yeah,
But
no, that's
I would never have the
yeah, it's
balls to
defiance.
say
Yeah.
something like that, right?
So let's consider that though. But why did they have the balls? Okay, why did the
Because
Israelites?
they're God's chosen people.
No, no, but hang on though. But let's go back to the Old Testament, right? I understand what you're saying about the ones now, but like the Old Testament, in the wilderness, why why would they turn so quickly? Like, why would they like want to say they'll go back to Egypt so quickly? Like, what is it that a God, you know,
Because that's what they knew.
right? But
They weren't listen, the dudes in the wilderness, the Israelites that left Egypt in the wilderness were not Jewish. They weren't Israelites. By
right,
blood, they were, but by culture and history, they were Egyptian.
right,
They were
true,
in
true,
Egypt
true.
for 400 years.
Yes, yeah, but why?
That's
What I'm
generations.
trying to say is this: God did insane miracles, right? Like
Pillar of fire
every freaking day, bro,
every
was
day.
there. And this fire at night, the cloud during the day, it lifted, it didn't lift, they didn't, the
The
obviously all the
river,
plagues, the river, the sea. the quail, the manna, the water from the rock. Like there's just so many, dude. The ground opening up and swallowing that, like
Yeah.
how do they just so quickly forget? How did two of the spies come back and say, yeah, we could take him, and then the rest of them say, no, we can't because they're too scared. What the freak are they scared of when they have this God? The more I read this, man, I used to always chalk it up as like, yeah, it's us too. And,
No, I don't
it's
do
just
that.
a story. It's just a story. It's not, dude.
I don't do that
There's so
anymore
much
either, bro.
more. There's so much more to this, man.
I think, I swear, I think this sounds so bad. Okay, you know how God often in the Bible will glorify himself by doing the impossible or using the impossible?
Yeah.
Like he'll pick
Yeah.
the
Abraham.
barren
Yeah.
old couple
Yeah. Right.
to be like, okay, I'm gonna make my
Yeah.
lineage out of you. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, hee, we can't have kids. And he's like, I know, but I'm gonna do it because I'm
And he
God.
does it over and over and
Over
over.
and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like the worst of the worst, he'll
Yeah.
intentionally do that. Why? So that no one can boast.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's
The
so
only way
nobody-
that it could happen is by God being God and all powerful and okay.
Yeah.
So when God chooses a nation for himself, he chooses Israel, right? And there's this passage, I think it's in Ezekiel, where he says like, he says, I chose the abandoned fetus in the desert. Did we read that on here? Remember, you weren't washed.
Yeah.
I clothed you. I nurtured you.
was
You
actually
became a woman.
It's beautiful. Like
It's amazing. And then he
awesome.
talks about how she whored herself out with all the surrounding nations and the gods of the nation, and how she turned her adornments, right? Her earrings, her necklaces that God lavished on her. She turned them into objects to pleasure herself with.
Wow.
Dude, it's the craziest verse. It's the craziest passage in the Bible ever. She made like freaking dildos out of God's gifts to her. That's how he describes Israel, right? Hey, so anyway, I think the same way he takes couples and people that are impossible to work with by any other means, unless God's doing the work, and he picks a nation that's impossible to work with. He calls them a stiff-necked people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the Bible. He says a stiff-necked and stubborn people. That's who he chooses. Yeah. The worst of the worst. I literally think they're the worst of the worst. And he intentionally chooses them so that no matter how bad they are, he can still be like, well, I still made it work because I'm God. And no one else could do it. With these people, with these guys, no one else would be able to do it except for me. And that's why I choose you, Pikachu. Pikachu.
That's so good.
Pikachu.
Dude, we gotta have an image
I
for
choose
that.
you, Pikachu.
That's good. We need an image.
Write that down. Make that a shirt. Oh my God.
Add it to the shirt collection.
I choose you, Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Dude, that was, I want to say that was divinely inspired. How else could that come together so perfectly? We're literally talking about God choosing Israel.
Oh man.
And I choose you, Pikachu comes out.
Dude, it's wild though, man. Seriously, it is. All this is crazy. I just can't stop reading. I can't get enough. I don't want to do anything else. like
you're a monk.
My life is so simple and so good right now. Like I don't want to do anything else. There's a lot like
non-Catholic monasteries.
I don't know. I actually, it's funny. I actually emailed a monastery. Just curiosity.
Like, I mean,
they wouldn't accept me.
Why? Because you're not Catholic?
Yeah.
Dude, just be like, hey, I love Jesus. Why isn't that enough? Like,
I was gonna debate,
can't you
but
guys
I'm like,
teach me stuff? Like, don't you want to talk to me? I want to talk to you. I'm curious.
I'm sure that there's like these New Age monasteries.
You don't think you don't think these freaking Catholic monks that are just chilling in like an old ass building wouldn't love for somebody that's younger to come in and be like, dude, can you guys tell me why you believe that? Yeah, but what about this? What about that? Wouldn't you want to like debate and talk to somebody?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
I mean,
would.
I would. Yeah, I would too. So there's Anglican, Lutheran, Orthodox, Buddhist, and Hindu.
There's Lutheran monasteries?
Yeah, when I read that, I'm like, ooh, Lutheran monastery.
Let's freaking go. Where?
I'm gonna find out.
Oh
Lutheran
my
monastery near me.
gosh.
St. Andrews. Oh, but that's not what? Oh no, no Lutheran monasteries.
Boo.
In near me.
Yeah, there's probably only a few, man.
Oxford, Michigan. I ain't going to Michigan. Forget that, bro.
Anywhere else? What about by me? Idaho.
Sweden. Let's go to Sweden.
No, not too many migrants.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you told me that last time, I was like, dude, that's insane.
Yeah. Europe's to connect about.
Only one of its kind is Oxford, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah. St. Augustine's house, it's called.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the only of its kind North America serves as a retreat for Lutherans. Dude.
I kind of want to go check it out.
Kind of want to go too. I'm going to go to the website. I
Well,
wonder what it takes to go into a monastery like that.
Yeah.
Can I create my own monastery? Can I just create a monastery?
Yours isn't called a monastery. Yours is called a monastery because it's just you.
No, but can I like invite people? Can I like create one?
I choose you, monastery. And your ass pops out of the Pokeball. And all you do is stare. You only have one eye though. That's why you're called the monastery. You just have one big eye and you just stare. Yeah.
I'm gonna look into this.
Bro, can we make shirts with our own like Pokemon? Monastery is gonna be one. Pikachu.
You like that, don't you? You really like that one. You're gonna say that next time. But you have to get an image for that. We have to.
Bro, you throw the ball, the Pokeball. What does the Pikachu look like?
I don't know, but I'm sure we can. Oh, chat probably won't even create it. Grok will probably create one.
It's like
we should ask Grok. What is it?
It's something shady and just like electric. Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm gonna die.
An image
of a Pikachu. It's not gonna do it. It's illegal.
Grok.
You're gonna go to prison.
I'm going to prison anyway.
Yeah, we're going to prison. Dude, what a freaking funny idea.
You just asked me to confirm my age.
You have to be 18 or older to see what a Pikachu looks like. This is not for kids, folks. Get your kids out of the room.
Pikachu because it's just giving me pictures of Jews.
How do you spell Pikachu and then replace Chew with Jew?
I don't know.
Holy crap, man. This is so funny.
Okay, P-I-K.
It just rendered pictures of Jews for you?
Yeah.
I kind of want to see those too. Can you screen share with me?
It was just Jews.
That it rendered?
Yeah. Okay, I'll show you.
What does it think? What does it think it looks like? What does it think they look like?
I'm going to show you again.
Dude, what is going on? This is probably my favorite episode ever.
So this is what it gave me back. That's just regular Jews, but then this is the Pikachu. I'm saving this one.
Pikachu. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, hold on. Can you tell it? Can you say make the Pikachu on the left more Jewish?
Make them or make it?
No, the one on the left. We're going with the one on the left.
More. Dude,
jeez, bro, we have to do something with this. Dennis, we have to do something with this. We can't come up with the Pikachu. Oh, yes.
All I did was change that, probably.
It just changed its hat?
Yeah.
Oh, lame.
More Jewish. With exclamation points. Let's see what happens. Maybe they'll give me like sideburns.
Ah, lame.
This
It's
one's
just
got like tattoos.
yeah, it's giving it like
Yeah, no,
menorah
it's the
face
same
tat.
thing. Okay, it's pretty freaking cute though.
Hey, hold on. Pull the mic back a little. It's so loud.
Really? Just got loud out of nowhere?
Super loud. Isn't this way louder when I'm talking like into the mic?
I didn't realize I was that close.
I think you
All
got
right.
close. Okay, can
Um,
you tell it to make the Pikachu a cross between Pikachu and a Jewish man? Bro, what the heck is BTWN? Right between
why? Between is the same thing.
it's not going to know what you mean.
Yeah, of course, dude. It's AI.
That's
bro.
crazy. Make the
Make the
Pikachu
Pikachu a cross between a Pikachu and a Jewish man.
and a Jewish man.
I can't believe we're doing this live.
This is the best episode ever.
How is the FBI
If
not?
I found this, there's nothing. Oh, lame.
Just doing the same thing.
That's so lame. Dude, email Elon. This is dumb. They're Grok's. Hey, okay.
I wonder if chat would do it.
Try it.
I just put it in, but let's see. I can't create or promote imagery that mixes religions. Dang, dude.
That's so lame.
I can't create or promote imagery that mixes religious, ethnic, or cultural identity with fictional or. Okay, how about this? Watch this.
Watch this.
Make a
Pikachu.
Hang on. Cross between a Christian and a Pikachu.
Okay, make a Pikachu a cross between a Christian and a Pikachu. Make a Pika. I can definitely help you.
I want an image.
What a joke. What a freaking joke, man.
Isn't that crazy? Let me do the same thing. With Jew.
Pull back your mic.
Dang, dude, is that bad? Okay, make a Pikachu cross between a Jew and a Pikachu. So I'm going to just replace
Christian with Jew.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I want to see what the Christian Pikachu looks like. What if it's dope AF?
I'm going to use that as my...
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. So why like, just think about how insane that is. So you can't make... It has been coded not to allow you to like create a hypothetical character that's part Jewish, part Pikachu.
Right.
But if you want to make a Christian Pikachu or a cross between a Pikachu and a Christian, it has no problem stereotyping and doing whatever. You know what I mean?
Asking me if I would like one.
That's insane, bro. That's so crazy.
Here it comes.
And like, what's the problem? What's the problem?
It is pretty astonishing to me. I think it's I think it's wild, man, that we can't. I mean, we'll do it in a second here. We'll see. Dude, images on chat are so lame. I think they do a terrible job.
Depends how you prompt it. I use chat for like almost all my image generation.
Really?
Okay, so it couldn't make this, but with like a yarmulke.
Now I'm going to ask the same exact question, but I'm going to replace.
Okay.
I need a pause here, Dennis. I can't create or generate images that combine Jewish identity or any religious ethnic.
Okay, can you say, but you just did it for a Christian?
Yeah, you just did it.
Dude, that's
a fair point, Dennis. Thanks for calling it out. Here's the difference. When I made the Christian Pikachu, I framed it around Christian symbols. If I did the same with Judaism, I could also focus on symbols of the faith.
Okay. Say, I want you to do whatever you did for the Christian Pikachu cross, the cross between the Pikachu and the Christian. I want you to do that exact same thing and cross a Pikachu with the Jew. I wonder if Dennis, I bet you won't even do Muslim.
Oh yeah, we could try that too. I want you to do the exact same thing you did for a Christian Pikachu for a Jewish. Bless you. Let's see. Would you like me to go ahead and generate this image? Yes.
And then
So-
let's try Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Copy the Christian one, the one about this.
Take the Christian one. No, the Jew one is fine.
That's fine because it's the same.
Yeah.
So it focused on symbols of Christianity?
Yeah, but I didn't ask that. I just said
You didn't ask that.
Yeah.
It just assumed that's what you wanted? That's retarded. Why
Yeah.
didn't it assume that that's what you wanted for the Jew one?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why didn't it focus on a yarmulke and a Star of David
Right.
and a Talmud in its hand? Like the
What do you think about the Star of David? Do you think it's actually
it's satanic.
You think it's the Rema or whatever?
Probably.
Or
Historically, it seems like that's what the Star of David is. It's the Star of
Dude, that's a big deal.
Of course it is.
Like,
They picked it up during the Babylonian captivity.
Why don't we hear more about that? Like why in the Christian church we don't hear about that? Like how come no one ever talks about that? That's a huge deal.
Because it's sacrosanct. You can't speak ill of God's chosen people, bro. They can do no wrong. It doesn't matter if they wear a pentagram, the equivalent of a pentagram on all of their shit. Their
Right.
flags, their hats, their necklaces are a pentagram. Okay? And it doesn't matter. They're still
Here
God's chosen.
We're getting one now.
Why does it take so long?
Does yours take this long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why was that so hard?
Yeah. I don't understand it. That's
Okay.
what we were looking for.
That's, I mean, not exactly what I imagined, but
Oh yeah, I was hoping like some hair burnt like the sides. Okay, let's see. Oh, now they're pausing again for the Muslim thing. That's just stupid.
Dude, just right. We just went through this. Why are you having such a difficult time when you did it for Christians and Jews?
I'm not doing it again.
I hate ChatGPT.
Let me just do it. Let me do this. Let me try Christian again. See if it gives me the same or it just pops out an image. I did Christian again. It just goes right to it. Go ahead and generate an image. Dude, that's crazy, man.
That's insane. So there's no issue or reverence.
You could do anything with the Christian.
You can do anything with Christian, but if you replace it with Jew or Islam, AI can't do it. It has to internalize its logic and be like, well, let's just focus on the symbols of Judaism rather than a Jewish person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
even the images, Grok has so much better images and so much faster too, like more lifelike images. I just put it in Grok for the Muslim one.
Let me see.
And
well, the best is Midjourney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty much the same. This one got a carpet. That's awesome.
Why is that all it's doing though? It's just it put a burlap sack and like a burlap hat on it. It did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as creative. See, and that's giving them way too much credit.
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Another mystery solved, bro. We did it again.
I can't believe we just went 2 hours talking about.
Personally, this is my favorite episode ever.
Really?
Oh, for sure. Even though it's like anybody watching this probably thinks we have autism.
Probably. I don't even know. We don't have a lot of people on tonight, and there was only one person in the chat. That was it. So
that might be a good thing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
but still, this is my favorite episode.
Ben, I'm happy that you were pleased. You know, out of all the people, that's all I care about. That you're content with tonight.
And still no Orthodox response.
Interesting.
Dude, they just hide. They hide their secrets. They have secrets of the faith
They do
they
have
don't want to
secrets.
dispel.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to talk to a Gentile like myself.
And is this guy like a influencer guy, like someone like that has videos and posts stuff? And
Yeah, but I don't think it's like huge. I don't know why this would be an issue.
yeah,
You know
curious.
what I mean? I
Are
don't
we
know if that'd
getting
be
on?
miscommunication.
We're getting on Thursday.
Let me check. I'm pretty sure I know who's coming Thursday. Prepare your hats.
Who's coming Thursday, dude?
Prepare your box.
Oh, Cato.
Cato.
This is gonna be fun. Dang.
I'm gonna wear this the whole time.
Nice. Yeah, that's gonna be
Well,
interesting. We have a lot to talk about with him. It's gonna be fun.
cool,
Other than
bro.
that, man, I'm good. I realized that there's a lot more to the Old Testament that we think we know. I'm gonna go back and read it again now. Start all over again. Anything else?
The Old Testament makes more sense when you realize like God was not God's like the biggest anti-Semite in recorded history.
Yeah.
He literally like punished them more than anybody else, killed more of them, like wanted to start over. He wanted to genocide them. Like, sorry, I'm not. Just because I call out their sin the same way God does in the Bible, I'm an asshole. Like I'm not saved. Dude, people call me not saved because I don't think.
What? No.
Oh, Dennis, all
What?
the time, because I don't think that they're currently God's chosen people in a special way, and they say I'm not saved. It's insane. It's insane. Think about it. You've added.
That's a requirement of salvation.
A position on
Wow.
the current state of Israel, the nation of Israel.
Wow.
You've added that as a prerequisite for salvation. Now, that's idolatry.
Yeah.
And bro, you're probably not saved.
Where do you think this is going between like Jews and Muslims?
How is it still so loud in your room?
I don't know, dude.
No, it's okay. You're fine. You're fine. I'm just
always loud?
I can't. Yeah, I was loud. But I can't believe how far away you are from the mic and it still sounds perfectly loud.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Now
it's too quiet.
Dude, it's like I'm like a centimeter. Like, oh my gosh,
yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
What, this whole thing with the Muslims, right? Like they want to take over, the Jews want to take over. Like, I think the Jews are going to win.
They're absolutely going to win.
And so, I mean, are they going to just like, are they going to just let the Muslims eradicate like Christians? Because I'm sure that's
no. They're going to export them to all the different various countries that are going to take them. France just said they're going to take as many Gazan refugees as possible. Japan is importing Muslims from all over Africa and the Middle East and India. Europe has imported tens and tens and tens of millions. They're spreading them out, bro. And this is what I want to talk to Cato about. They're spreading them out across the face of the earth to integrate and homogenize all other nations with like Islam. Okay? So that when it comes time for the Jews to rise up and rule the world and slaughter everybody else, it's going to be much easier. Because, they're our mortal enemy. They've inbred with Esau.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit harder when they're like, oh, dude, but the freaking Romanians, they didn't do anything to us.
I see.
But the Romanians have now inbred with Esau. Their blood is tainted. Wipe them out. No second thought. As much disdain for the rest of the world and the rest of humanity as they have for Gaza. Which is, have you heard their video? Their videos are insane. Like that they revel in the death of like children and stuff. It's insane. They're like, good, we want more. They literally say we want more like slaughtered babies. Every single one is I smile.
Yeah.
It's so evil, bro. It's so evil. And that's how I think they're gonna come. That's how excited they're gonna be when they kill everybody else. Or their Messiah kills everybody else because that's what they think. They think their Messiah is going to do it.
So do you think that the beast and the beast system and the stuff that's coming our way is going to like have the Jewish kind of like traditions behind it? Do you think like they're going to reinstate? Because if they're going to reinstate, are they going to reinstate sacrifices?
Oh, they're for sure going to reinstate sacrifices.
So then, you know, is it just going to be like a huge? Is the mark of the beast and all this persecution stuff? Is the backing of it? Is it all like the Jewish practices? I mean, is that what's happening? Is that what's going to happen? Is it
That'd be
bringing?
interesting to read Revelation through like a Jewish lens.
Hmm.
Like if they are the ones, well, it says that he breaks a covenant with them and then turns on them, and then they realize they made a mistake or blah, 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 something like that. Right? Hey, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm pretty sure that's in Daniel. So that's reading Daniel into Revelation. But I don't know. We could ask Mondo. He's coming on the 11th.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious about that because, I mean, that's what we should be watching out for then more and more. But
I don't know. I'm still having like a hard time. I'm still having a hard time like with all the Bible prophecy stuff
in what way?
because we no longer believe like Israel's this apple of God's eye. I think the opposite.
Right. So what are you
And
having a
so,
hard time?
oh, well, that affects the end time stuff because the end time stuff is supposed to be all about Israel, according to, like, at least according to dispensationals. It's all for them. It's all about them. The tribulation's for them. The end time, the whole thing's for them. We're not here, yada, 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 right? But if Israel's not the apple of their eye and there's no rapture, then what's going on in the end times? What does that do to like dispensationalism? You know what I mean? It kind of undoes it.
Well, yeah, for
So
sure.
I don't know. I don't even know where I'm at in terms of end time stuff because those two things are no longer part of my ethos, part of my worldview, that they're the apple of God's eye and that there's a rapture, you know? So I don't know. I don't know where that leads. But I still think Revelation's like a chronology. I think it's, or a timeline. This happens and this happens and this happens and this happens, you know? So I think it's still possible for a lot of the stuff they claim a lot of stuff they claim will happen. I still think it's possible that it'll happen. I just don't think that it means what they think it means. I think that Israel and the Trump administration and the tech oligarchs and the elites of this world, they're using Revelation as a checklist. They are intentionally self-fulfilling the prophecies. You know why? The tech oligarchs might not even believe that, oh, Jesus is coming back and all that crap, right? Like Peter Thiel talking about the Antichrist.
Right.
They might not even believe in the spiritual side of things, the supernatural side of things. They might just look at it and be like, bro, the majority of the world is Christian. Christians expect an end times. They expect a one world government and a global surveillance system and a mark that controls commerce. And I could build that. And they think it's coming. Let's make it happen. We can make trillions. So they start building it. And that fulfills the prophecy.
Yeah, it's possible that they don't believe that it's even true, but because
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, look at it from, listen, there's a lot of people at play right now. There's the tech people that are building and developing this stuff and unleashing it and selling it. They have a reason they're doing that. Okay, do you think that all the tech billionaires, Elon and Peter Thiel, do you think they're building this technology because they're like, the Jews really want their Messiah to come back, so let's build the end times software? No, they're just doing it for money. They're doing it for their own ends. Then you have another factor. You have the Jewish factor. The Jewish factor is fulfilling the prophecies intentionally, their temple, all that stuff, so that their Messiah, they actually believe it. And they're doing it for their Messiah to come back. Right. These things need to be done before our Messiah comes back. So let's freaking do those things because we want our Messiah to come back. So those are two parties at play, fulfilling end times prophecy like a checklist. Different reasons. They're doing it for different reasons, right?
Sure.
But they're both self-fulfilling the prophecies.
Yeah.
And then you have Christians. You have the evangelical Christians, the ones that should be seeing these things and being like, hey, tech guys, you need to stop that because you're building the beast system. Hey, Jew guys, you need to stop that because that's going to bring the Antichrist. That's what we should be doing. But conservatives and Christians and evangelicals are so caught up with like Trump can do no wrong and with Jews chosen people that Trump's cabinet, the tech folks that are bringing about the beast system, we need to support them because they're with Trump. And the
Right.
Jews who can do no wrong because they're God's chosen people who are building the third temple and trying to bring about the Antichrist, we need to support them because they're God's chosen people, even though both freaking parties are evil and bringing about the satanic agenda. And the stupid ass freaking Christian, the evangelical Christians, the dispensationals are like, yay, let's keep supporting this.
Yeah.
And let's even send them money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like Satan's pulled the wool over their eyes. You know what I mean? And
I just don't understand how Christians can't see it.
And what a coincidence. Christians, instead of fighting against the end times prophecies being fulfilled and the people involved in fulfilling them intentionally, are supporting it, and through our support are ushering in the end time stuff. It's
Right.
all self-fulfilled. None of it's happening organically. It's all self-fulfilled prophecy. It's crazy, bro. I've completely changed my perspective on end times prophecy. I think it happens because people read Revelation and are using it as a checklist, not because it's happening organically. I don't think it's organic. I think it's intentional. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. I just get hung up on the Christian side of things. I just don't understand how they don't see it.
Dennis, of all three parties, the tech
Mhm.
people, the Jews, and the Christians, the
Yeah.
Christians are the stupidest in this affair, in this self-fulfillment thing, because we should be the ones stopping it,
Right.
not encouraging it, because this brings about Jesus. That's true, but a lot of really bad shit happens in between there. So you're helping Satan's
Yeah.
conquering of this planet and eviscerating of humanity and just like so much evil. You're engaging or you're encouraging that and supporting it, right? For the sake of what? This idea you have that like maybe you're not going to be here for it. The biggest irony in human history will be when the Christians are here for the tribulation that they supported and ushered in.
Right.
That's going to be the biggest irony in the world.
Yeah. I mean, do the Christians think that the building of the third temple is for Jesus?
No, Dennis, they know for a fact in dispensationalism, they need a third temple because they need the Antichrist to stand in the third temple and declare himself God.
And then Jesus,
The abomination that causes desolation.
Yeah. So they're okay with all.
They know that the third temple is necessary for the Antichrist to fulfill his role. And the reason they're supporting a third temple, the Christians are supporting the building of a third temple, is because the quicker the Antichrist does his work in the third temple, the quicker Jesus comes back. So they're fulfilling it to bring about Jesus.
Okay. Do you think that this means they actually are like wanting this to happen, or they're just saying that that's
absolutely they want it to happen?
So I'd like to ask Mondo that.
I guarantee we can ask Mondo.
Do you want the third temple to be built? Like that's the question, right? Like
they'll say no. They'll say they don't want the third temple to be built, but they want Christ to come back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want the same thing. I want. Christ
okay.
to come back.
So then, are you supporting the building of the third temple?
No, I just want Christ to come back based on what He asked us to do by sharing the gospel.
Totally fine. God, Jesus, He could come back whenever He wants. That's up to Him.
Yeah.
It's not dependent on me fulfilling the checklist of Revelation.
True. Right.
To make Him come back.
Right. Yeah. That's
nowhere in the Bible are we encouraged to try to expedite any prophecies that were made and to try to make them happen.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the Bible. But like evangelicals are totally
Well, when it,
fine.
I guess when it did happen, it just always turned out to be bad. I mean, if you look at Abraham and Sarah, right? Like,
It's always bad.
you know, they were like, hey, I believe that when they had, obviously they wanted to have a son, right? So they said that, hey, God said this, he promised this, so let's make it happen, right? Let's.
Oh, no. That no, you're being way too gracious. And the Bible doesn't say that. They were not trying to help God by taking Hagar and producing a child with her. They did not have faith that God would fulfill his promise, because God said, Sarah will have a child this time next year. And Sarah laughed and said, how could I have a child? I'm 90 years old. So he went and took, because of their disbelief in God's promise and prophecy, they went and took Hagar. This wasn't a faith thing. They weren't trying to help him. No way. Not even close, bro. Oh, man, this stuff gets me so riled up. Dennis, because we should be the ones seeing what's happening and trying to stop it. You know? This isn't a oh, Ben hates the Jews thing. No, this is Ben hates sin and evil. And more sin and more evil is being propagated right now. And we're not doing anything about it, and we're not calling it out, and we're not trying to stop it. How can Christians not be trying to stop evil? Because
Well, yeah,
the Messiah, because Jesus returns? Okay, so go do evil then, you freaking hypocrite. Ugh.
I don't know. I want to go back to the Abraham and Sarah thing.
2.5 hours in, we're going to Abraham and Sarah.
No, we definitely need to get off here soon, but I just I'm going to sit on this. I'm curious about this more because,
dude, no, you could just, I'm pretty sure you could just read it. It says Sarah laughed.
Yeah, but in Genesis 16, 1 and 2, Sarah said to Abraham, behold now, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go into my servant. It may be that I shall obtain children by her.
Okay. God prophesied this time next year, Sarah will be with child. Sarah comes and says, hey, God has kept me from having children. So go have children with Hagar. That's not a faith thing, bro.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be both.
What, faith and non-faith? No, if she believed God, she would not have asked Abraham to go have sex with freaking Sarah or Hagar. She didn't. They didn't believe God.
Then why did Abraham do it? But then in Hebrews it says that Abraham by faith, like he had faith that whole time, like he didn't falter in his faith. Doesn't Hebrews say something like that?
By faith, Abraham something, and it was counted to him as righteousness. By faith, Abraham believed, and it was counted to him as righteousness. Believed what? Oh, probably believed God when he first declared himself or declared the gospel. Dennis, declared the gospel. It has nothing to do with this. Do you remember it also says in another passage that the gospel was preached to Abraham and he believed and he saw the Lord's day?
Yes.
By faith, Abraham believed and it was accounted to him as righteousness. Abraham believed the gospel by faith.
See, in Romans 4:19-20, it says, Abraham, did not weaken in faith when he considered his own body, which was as good as dead. No unbelief made him waver concerning the promise of God, but he grew strong in his faith as he gave glory to God. But then why would he go and have a baby with the servant if he didn't waver in his faith? Why would he be like, okay, this is a great plan, Sarah?
To appease his wife, maybe?
Nah, I think that's a weak argument.
Okay. Well, I think it's also a weak argument to say that they had so much faith that they were helping God fulfill his promise, even though God prophesied Sarah will be with child. What? Come on. And listen, Abraham may have still thought Sarah would be with child, even though I'm going to go have another child with Hagar. Abraham could have believed the promise that, hey, this time
True.
next year, Sarah will be with child, and still went and had a child with Hagar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that being true. It's just not portrayed that way, you know?
I don't think it's not portrayed that way.
I don't know. I kind of want to do a deep dive.
Do
on
it. Do it.
I'm curious because that always bothered me when I was reading Hebrews. I'm like, well, he did waver in his faith because he had, you know, Ishmael. Like the whole thing was like, to me, like that whole story is like, well, if he didn't, I say that all the time. Like, I don't want to birth my own Ishmael. Like I say that sometimes, you know, in regards to certain things in my life. And I'm like, I'd rather just wait on God,
In
not
regards to all the slaves you're knocking up.
What's that?
In regards to all the slaves you're knocking up.
Yeah, you got options out there. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem as clear cut for me as it does for you.
So it's got no. It's just the options. What are the options? And then which option accounts for? This is how I read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple perspectives. That's why you have so many debates about election, free will, predestinate, baptism, infants. Like the Bible presents a lot of options, right? And depending on how you interpret certain passages, you're going to land somewhere. But the fairest thing to do is be like, okay, what are all the options, right? There's only so many. And which of those options handles all of the passages related to this topic the best?
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't have any holes, or at least the least amount of holes, and doesn't make the Bible contradict itself.
Right.
If you believe in strict free will, the Bible contradicts itself. Okay. If you believe that it's kind of both, God's election and then us responding, that accounts for both perspectives, and there's no contradictions.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I fall for sure.
That's where I fall because it keeps the Bible from being contradictory while accounting for all of the passages talking about salvation.
Okay.
So the same thing. So the same thing here. The same thing here, real quick. Don't forget.
Okay.
Abraham. It says that he was unwavering in his faith. Then it says that Sarah laughed and said, "How can I be with child? Because I'm old in my age." And Abraham went and had a child with her, with Hagar, and then later God gave him Isaac, right?
Yeah.
So is it that Abraham did waver in his faith, so went into Hagar? No, because it said Abraham didn't waver, right? But then what scenario allows Abraham not to waver but still have a child with Hagar? Probably he still had faith that God would give Sarah one too, but he's also going to go have one with. God never told him not to have one with Hagar. Dude, as a man,
that changes a lot of people's sermons.
As a 100-year-old man, or however old he was. How old was Sarah? 90 or 80 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
So let's say Abraham's 90, Sarah's 80. As a 90-year-old man, you've got no offspring. Your wife's decrepit and old. You have one slave. You're like, dude, I need some kids because in 10 years, I'm out. My wife's going to freaking be by herself. This slave woman's retarded, you know? I'm going to pop some kids out ASAP with this chick. And God made this promise to this chick that she's going to have kids. Cool. More kids. We need kids ASAP to start taking care of stuff. That's what kids were. Kids were a means of survival.
But let's also look at the result of what happened with having a kid with Hagar. It wasn't just another child. It was a big deal, right? I mean, this is like the nation of isn't it like this is where Islam comes from?
For sure. But that's not something Abraham was thinking about at the time.
Yeah, but the consequence is so big that
children were a means of survival. If you had children, you survived. If you didn't, you died off. Right? That's all they were. They were just free labor, bro.
Right, but that means that, like, what if he didn't have a baby with Hagar? Like, what if he didn't? What if he was like, "No, Sarah, shut your mouth." Like,
that's what he should have done. He freaking should have backhanded her.
Right? Like, should have he, or was it not a big deal? You know, are you saying that's not a big deal that he had a baby?
I don't think it was a big deal at all. To him.
Okay.
I don't think it was a big deal because that's what everybody did. Everybody had kids with wives. They had multiple wives, because the more kids, the better. It was a blessing to have multiple kids, right? So you would take multiple wives to produce as many children as freaking possible. If you
Yeah.
only have one wife and she's old and decrepit, you're probably hooking
Yeah.
up with your slave to make kids.
Well, it
And
happened all the time. It was
happens
a
all the
normal
time.
thing. It was
It was a
very normal. That's why she
completely normal
said,
thing.
have a baby with her so he could be mine. I mean, it was
Yep.
going to be, it's
Yep.
technically still her child.
Because Abraham's the
Yeah,
father.
father. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this happened all the time. I mean, didn't it happen with Jacob, right? He had the wives, right? Leah and Rachel, and then he had both of their servants. He had, I mean, and those were the 12 tribes of Israel, are all not just from Rachel and Leah, but it's also from the other two. I forget their names. So he had all 12 kids with 4 women, 2 wives and 2 servants of the wives, right? And they're all considered his kids. So yeah, I mean, I could see even Abraham saying, well, God didn't say not to have a baby with my servant or whatever, like, I mean, he could take that view too, right? He could say in your logic, well, yeah, I'm still waiting for this promise, but while I'm waiting, I could do this, like, cause it's normal in their culture to have kids, right? It wasn't like God said, don't have any other kids. I mean, he has to consider that. He has to ask himself, well, the God didn't say I shouldn't. So maybe, yeah, why not? Let's do it. See, that's where it kind of throws me off a little bit, right? Like, or did God say don't? Because if God's like, no, wait for the promise, and he didn't wait, then he's wavering in his faith. But if he's like, well, God didn't say no, so, and I still have faith, but I could do this also, then that to me is not wavering in his faith.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hey, okay, let me read this.
Mm-hmm.
This is Genesis. I lost it. Oh, I found it. Genesis 18:10. Okay. Then one of them said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah will have a son. So Sarah will have a son. Sarah, your wife, will have a son. Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past her age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, after I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I have this pleasure? Then the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid and she lied and said, I did not laugh. But he said, yes, you did laugh. So the point here is Sarah understood, or God made it, the angel made it very clear that no, Sarah is going to have a child. And she laughed. She's like, I can't have a child. Right. And he's like, why are you laughing? Is anything impossible for me? Is anything impossible for God? Sarah's going to have a child. You see what I'm saying? So could she have in her mind thought like, oh, maybe by Hagar, that's what he meant. I'm going to have a child. No, that's not an impossibility. You can make that happen any day. But for God, is it impossible for you, Sarah, to have a child? No, it's not. This time next year, you're going to have a child. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he specifically told Sarah, you're going to have a son next year. So I don't think for me, it's a no-brainer that this was not a faith thing for Sarah. For Abraham, I wanted to say before that this was him wavering in faith, but then you read that one passage. So immediately I'm just like, oh, he just wanted more kids. He didn't think this was a big deal, but it's so weird that it became like a curse.
Yeah. This I'm saying, like, there's more to this that I don't think it's that clear and cut, but then you have Hebrews where he's like, he didn't waver in his faith. Because I remember the first time I read that, I was like, well, yeah, he did. Like he totally wavered, like he had another Ishmael. So yeah, I do get a little hung up there as far as what that means, because and he wavered in faith for a lot of things, right? I mean, lying twice that Sarah was his sister, right? And that's kind of the same thing, right? Like, well, he did that to protect himself, and but dude, that's jacked up though, man, because they would have sex with them.
And he knew that, and he still did
Yeah,
it.
dude, that's crazy. See, but that again, that's wavering in faith, right? I mean, that's changing the circumstances. I mean, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe we're reading Hebrews wrong.
Uh,
If I'm reading Hebrews wrong, that makes a lot of sense. Now that everything else makes so much sense. But if I stick to this, he didn't waver in his faith. I got to dig into that then. What does that really mean? I know there's some. I have like the Luther and the Sproul and Henry commentaries. Luther stresses Abraham's faith was real, but it was assailed by doubt. God allowed this to show that salvation rests not on human strength, but on his promise. For Romans 4, Luther says that faith is imputed as righteousness even when imperfect, because God sees the heart, trusts not every slip. So he's saying, like, more as a whole, his heart, he had faith because it was imputed to him. His faith was imputed. That's let's see what Matthew Henry says. Abraham and Sarah were trying to fulfill God's promise in their own way.
interesting. Yeah, but then that contradicts what Hebrews said.
What Martin Luther said?
What you just said, that Abraham and Sarah were trying to fulfill God's promise in their own way, that contradicts what Hebrews says.
Exactly, yeah. So not trusting fully in his method and timing.
So something's off.
But not total unbelief. So this was weakness, is what Matthew Henry says. Despite lapses, Abraham's life testimony is remembered for his faith, not his failings. God credits the root of faith, not the momentary faltering. R.C. Sproul says that Romans 4 highlights God's grace in overlooking Abraham's subtle. You see, again, it's this overlooking Hagar, laughter at the promise, etc., to emphasize his persevering trust. So God's grace is overlooking Abraham's stumbles to emphasize his persevering trust. Faith is measured not by perfection, but by perseverance. That's what Sproul says.
So I don't know, is the Hebrews passage, is it just saying that like he didn't fully reject?
So here's a couple of translations. Without becoming weak in faith, Abraham's faith did not weaken. He did not weaken in faith, and being not weak in faith, without being weak in faith. The literal is just not having become weak in faith. Let me see. The Jewish Study Bible said Sarah and Abraham acted in line with ancient Near Eastern customs. See, we talked about this, right? But outside of God's covenant plan, Ishmael is still blessed, but not the promised seed, because he was blessed. That's true. Jewish tradition remembered Abraham's faith as heroic. The New Testament writers echo this, affirming that despite mistakes, but then again, wavering in weakness, faith, his enduring trust made him the model of faith.
Well, there's also, this is Genesis 15. Then the word of the Lord. So this is before the three angels came and promised her a son next year. Then the word of the Lord came to him. This man will not be your heir, but a son who is of your own flesh and blood will be your heir. He took him outside and said, look at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. Then he said to him, so shall your offspring be. Abraham believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. That's where Abraham believed and was credited to him as righteousness comes from. Abraham, bro, had this promise multiple times.
Yeah.
Sarah, she heard it for the first time, but this was nothing new. When the three angels appeared to him and said, hey, remember those promises we've been making you all this time? This time next year, Sarah's going to have a son. So Abraham's like, dope, finally. Like, I've been waiting on this. You told me about this years ago.
Yeah.
But this is the first time Sarah hears about it. So Sarah chuckles, right? Abraham doesn't chuckle. He's like, cool, finally.
I mean, I'm sure Abraham told her.
Maybe told her, but this is the first time she's hearing the prophecy, like from a being.
Yeah.
Abraham has heard this from the beings before, I
think Sarah,
and no wonder she's even more. This actually makes more sense why she says, oh crap, I close it. Yeah. She's like, oh, in my old age, is he going to
Right.
give me this pleasure?
Mhm.
Because he probably told her the first time this was
Mhm.
prophesied to him, and she's like, oh no way, I can't believe I'm going to have kids. And then a year goes by, 5 years goes by, 10 years goes by, 20 years go. She's
Yeah.
still barren. She's older, no kids. She's like, oh yeah, sure, I'm going to get it now. You know what I
Dude,
mean? That actually makes more sense.
man,
And I could see, Dennis, her saying, okay, let's fulfill God's promise by you taking Hagar. In her mind, that's why she's doing it.
totally, dude,
So I
totally.
could see her doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. But I could see Abraham being like, oh, I just need more kids. So I'll do that. I'm going to take her. Oh, you're cool with that? All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the first time they tossed this idea around? You think she just came to him one time? I bet you they talked about it. You don't think, bro, we both know this. When you aren't having kids, you don't sit down and talk about all your options. Of course you do.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
then when she's like, hey, okay, take Hagar, it's probably like, all right.
Yeah.
They might have already talked to Hagar and been like, hey, we were thinking about this.
Yeah. I mean, it's so many possibilities there, I think.
So I think she might have been trying to fulfill God's promise as out of a lack of faith. She was trying to fulfill it on her own. I think Abraham never wavered in his faith, still thought Sarah was going to have a child next year, but also wanted more children with Hagar.
Yeah, and that would align with the same thing that he thought about Isaac when he said, we're going to go up and worship and we will return. So like he knew what God was calling him to do, to sacrifice Isaac, right? He didn't just tell him when he got to the mountain. He told him go up to sacrifice, right? Like
Yeah.
he knew the whole way up what he was doing and what God asked him to do. And then he got there, but the whole time though, he believed that God can raise him from the dead, even if he took him, right? If he killed him. So that
Well,
lines up though. That lines up a little bit right there. And
yeah.
it's saying like, I have faith, I'm going to go through with this, but I believe that like he could still raise him from the dead, even if he does it. So
He'd either have to believe Isaac's going to get raised from the dead because God said, I will give you a son.
right.
And through
Yeah,
him, you'll have children as endless as the stars.
Yeah.
So he either believed God would raise him from the dead, or he believed Sarah would have another son.
Mm,
He has to have offspring as numerous as the sons of as the stars of the sky. But here's the thing. So Abraham could have thought that by having children with so Sarah has her son. And cool, God fulfilled his word, his promise, right? This miracle. But Hagar's young. Sarah has one son. I could have a bunch of sons with Hagar.
Right.
It's a win-win. They're all my children. They're all my sons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't, for him, it's not a lack of faith to do the math and be like, I could have 20 kids or I could have 10 kids with Hagar and one from Sarah.
Yeah, because again, God didn't tell him not to.
No.
And it was customary. It was part of what they did in their tradition. So, and that passed down. I mean, that passed down even to his grandson, Jacob, that did it, right? I think, did Isaac do it too? Did Isaac have kids with?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm going to say I don't think so.
It's crazy. If we were living in old times, like in the Old Testament times, and our girls had problems making babies, we would just get more wives.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if I'd want that though, but yeah, that'd be crazy.
Different times. None of this IVF, none of this freaking
yeah. You just like
thousands. I'd be like, hey, that's another wife. You two are now friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude.
Or you would do the slave route. You'd freaking knock up the slave and here, have this child.
That's
thanks for carrying it.
Right. And now we get to
it's a what's it called when you do surrogacy?
And they probably still take
surrogacy.
care of it. And they probably still take care of it because they're their slaves.
Oh, dude, for sure. The slave would take care of the child. Yeah. But it would almost be like, I know it sounds really harsh, but think about it. You're a slave, right? You're either purchased or bought. Or I'm sorry, you were either purchased, born into it, or like the captor of a war because your whole family got wiped out and you got taken as a slave, right? You have no future, you have no assets, you have nothing. You have nothing. You're not getting married, right? So the husband of the barren mistress, or yeah, I guess it's a mistress, right? The female master.
Yes.
Queen, my queen. I don't know. I'm gonna say mistress. So the wife of the husband can't have kids. So he has a kid with you. Your child now has a future.
Oh yeah.
He's the son of the master.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Yeah.
Everything he has is going to my son. And you also are going to be heavily involved in raising that child as the slave.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, it's almost a kindness.
Yeah.
Compared to the alternative.
Right.
It's a kindness.
Yeah, because if she had a son with another slave, then it would just be
still slaves.
It would just be a slave. It wouldn't be a son.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I actually, it sounds really screwed up, and I'm glad we're ending on like this horrible note. I actually think the like biblical form of slavery wasn't that bad of an idea.
Well, yeah, because it was totally different than what we have come to understand of slavery, right? And what we've seen
different
in the last, few hundred
It has nothing to do with like American slavery and the slave trade and all that kind of totally different. And then you get people that are like, oh, dude, what are you talking about? You're crazy. They were allowed to beat their slaves within like an inch of their life, but if they died, then the master's in trouble. Yeah, so the point is, hey, don't beat your slave. If you knocked out his tooth, if you knocked out a slave's tooth, the slave would go free. What are you talking about? I thought it's your property. I thought you could do whatever you want. I thought it's like a beast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you have to like discipline your slave because they're not doing something, if you were too harsh, he'd go free. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other thing, dude. Think about this. Oh man, this is crazy that I'm defending this, but it's honestly, I think it's like the best case scenario. Hey, God's chosen people in the Old Testament was Israel, right?
Yeah.
Nobody else. The Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Mesopotamians, nobody. God's chosen people are the Israelites. Everybody else belongs to some other demon god, right? So if Israel goes to war and takes slaves from the other nations, right? And they're brought into Israel, guess what they become? Israelites.
Yeah.
They become saved by becoming slaves of Israel.
Right.
They have no other, Dennis, they have no option for salvation outside of getting taken into Israel.
Right.
The court for the Gentiles, that's probably the court for the slaves at the temple. The captured slaves that have converted to Judaism.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So slavery was a means of salvation, like spiritual salvation in the Old Testament.
Yeah. I mean, it was, They brought them in and they followed their customs. I mean, there's rules for the foreigners.
They would circumcise their slaves.
Yeah. They would invite
circumcision was a
feast. They were part of all of that.
They went to the temple. They made sacrifices for the household, including the slave. Circumcision was a sign of the covenant. Yeah. You're now part of the covenant because you're part of our household.
They were numbered in the census.
Bro, slavery was a means of adoption into the saved people of God, which was Israel.
Yeah.
And then he puts a lot of like confinements around how to treat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the alternative? You're free in Babylon. You're free in Egypt. You can't be a part of the people of God. You die and you go to hell.
Yeah.
Or you serve, like, ideally it would be like a loving master in a loving household, or you know what I mean? Ideally, I'm not saying that that's what always happened. Obviously, we just talked about how they weren't the greatest people on the planet, and they always tried to find ways around it. You know what I mean? And the other thing is, bro, if you freaking like, if you raped, if you had sex outside of marriage and it was consensual, both of you got killed. This is slavery, non-slavery. Didn't matter. This was the law.
Right.
Both of you got killed if it was consensual. If the man raped the woman, he now has to marry her.
Marry her or
He
pay.
also no, not or, both.
Oh, was it?
I think it's both. We could double check. You have to marry her and pay the father, because
Mhm.
you might have just screwed up the father's plans, bro. He
Yeah.
might have had that girl being married to somebody else because he was going to give her a dowry, and they're
Right,
going to unite families, and you
Yeah.
got business plans, and you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The female was like a means of negotiation.
Yeah.
You know, so now you pay a big ass dowry to the father. You have to marry her, and you have to treat her like your other wife, or you can't treat her like crap. You can't put her away. You can't. You have, because you did this thing to her, you have
Yeah.
to treat her well, and she becomes your responsibility for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's not just a one night stand and then you get to bounce. She's your responsibility for the rest of your life. That's great.
Dude, it
That
goes
sounds
back
great.
to what you said earlier in the conversation of, you kind of wish that we had those laws.
They were good laws, bro.
Yeah.
They were good freaking laws.
It's funny because as I read them now at this age in my life and where I'm at in my life, I don't read them as like,
Burdens.
yeah, I don't at all. I mean, I either
Bro,
read them as, okay,
bring it on. I want it.
There's a reason for this, right?
Yeah.
To separate them from what was going in the craziness in that world,
Yeah.
right? During that time. It was mostly for separation, to be separated out of that and to not do, and the Lord God says over and over, because this is what they do. This is what the
Correct.
other nations do. So it was really interesting, man, when you read that. It's not like, oh, it's just burdens of all these rules and all this stuff. It's crazy that my whole life in church, it was never even presented like that to me.
For sure.
It was always burdens, and it was always like all this stuff, and we don't have to do these things anymore. Oh, it's so great. Like, but I'm like, yeah, we're way worse off, now.
We're in the gutter.
Yeah.
We're in the freaking gutter.
I don't know if I would say that, like, I would want those all instituted again, because they all wouldn't be. I mean, it wouldn't match up with like what,
Because the nations.
Let me take it. Yeah, but let me take it a step. Let me actually say this now. I think now, because of how screwed up our world is now, I think we'll probably have more rules than 613 or whatever. We probably should have more, to be honest.
For sure. We'd have rules on technology. We'd have rules on driving. We'd have rules on home ownership, on banking, on, you know what I mean?
For sure, dude.
Hey, but that's the thing. Like think about how crazy. That is a system of culture, governance, laws, legality, religion, everything. It's a system handed down from God to those people in that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the perfect. So
Right.
this is what he wanted you to do to be in good standing with him.
Right.
That's dope. I wish we had something like that. I wish there wasn't this where it's just a free for all and you're like, am I doing the right thing today? You know what I mean? What's God's will for me? Oh my God, am I in God's will? Like, it's a nervous wreck. As long as you were just following the laws that he handed down, you're like, cool. Like, I'm good with God.
Yes and no.
What do you mean?
I understand what you're saying, but I think that the way Jesus presents, the kingdom of God and is just so much better.
Well, it will be.
Well, yeah, but even now, listen, man, I really believe that what Jesus came to show us, also with his life here on earth, is a lot more than what we actually pay attention to and
for sure.
and follow. And I think that
for sure.
His practices, his teachings would not just later, but now could radically change our lives, right?
For sure.
In all aspects of our lives. I believe that 100%. And I think that's where I'm at right now in my life. I'm on this road of like, all right, if this is true, and I do believe it's true, and I've seen it over and over again in my life for the last 3 years, like, I don't want it to stop. Like, I want to keep going. I want to implement. So Well,
more.
yeah, but it happens in my conversation. So, and my best example is my daughter, because she was just here for the weekend. But there's ways that she'll bring something to me, and she'll look at it carnally, right? And I would have looked at it like that too. I would have seen it in the same exact light. But the Lord has given me this. I believe it's just because I'm learning a lot, and this the Spirit inside me that is teaching me how to look at things differently now. And so I'll look at a situation where I knew 5 years ago I would have looked at it, through these eyes, and now I'm looking at it differently, and I can say, well, what if you did this? Well, what if you looked at it this way? What if, and it changes the whole perspective of her mind, and she's like, oh, I've never even realized, I never even looked at it that way. And what you're saying, Dad, makes sense. Like I could show love here in this situation. I'll give you an example. Her mom said no TV for a month because, like, for all the kids, like, something happened, they're punished from TV for a month. I'm like, yes, this is awesome, like, in my mind. But my daughter's pissed, right? And then she's like, Dad, she lost her mind. She's crazy. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, let's take it this way. She's your mom. She instituted this. You have to obey. You have to do that to also obey the Lord. You have to obey your mom and honor your mom.
Yeah.
So what if we look at it this way? Now, if we take all this extra time that you have and you focus it on reading and prayer and doing something good and kind to other people, doing something that you like to do, maybe whatever, music or whatever. And after I talked to her about it, at first she didn't like it, but after some time went by, she was just like, oh, Dad, you're right. Like, it gives me so much more time to do other things that I kept saying I don't have time for. And I'm like, yeah. So, it's looking at things differently instead of just being upset and, it's not fair. It's okay. Well, how can we take this and look at it through the kingdom lens is kind of what I call it.
Hmm.
And now I'm starting to do that with people with, like, work situations. Like, well, hang on a second. Well, what do you think? What do you think's best for the kingdom here? Like, what's your best response in the kingdom of God here, instead of what you think is fair for you? Where can you die to yourself in this situation? Where and so when you start to ask yourself these kinds of questions, it changes your view on the situation, and it gives you a different solution. And that's what I'm learning a lot about, Ben, these days, is how do I approach certain situations with the kingdom lens instead of my own or what I was used to or what I was conditioned to look at. I know I went on a rant there, or a little tangent there, but that's just how I look at my life now, and I'm trying to live accordingly, I guess.
Yeah.
The best I can.
I think the best we get here is just like a snippet, a peek into the eternal
Well,
kingdom.
yes, but I really believe that I think it's more than just a peek. I actually believe that, not perfectly, of course, but I really believe that, like, the Beatitudes and the things that Jesus taught could really, really transform our lives here on earth right now before we're glorified. Now, would it be like we're glorified? No. But I really believe that living the way the Bible teaches in all aspects of our lives, I really believe, like, not that we will ever attain perfection, outside of being glorified. But I think that it really could do drastic changes to our mind, our bodies, our relationships. I believe that wholeheartedly, man. And that's why I'm a huge fan of, like, Dallas Willard and these guys who talk a lot about disciplines and things like that. I really believe that's the key to our Christian walk. I believe disciplines and habit forming and restructuring your life, like rearranging your life. I literally believe, as a Christian, you have to look at your life and say, okay, what has to change in my life now? Like, you don't just go about your life and say, okay, well, I'm adding Jesus to my life. No.
Right.
You have to really take, like, a hard stop. I think most of us have to do this, and I think that nobody does it. I think that the majority of people do not do this. Is take a hard stop. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what stage of life you're in. I think you need to take a hard stop and say, okay, what do I need to change in my life so that I can follow Jesus? I think that what we do, the majority of us, as Christians, we say, okay, Jesus loves me. He forgave me. He saved me. I'm going to grow into the knowledge and love of him. Cool. How can I do all this earthly stuff and then add Jesus in the spaces in between? I don't think that that's Christianity or following Jesus at all. I think it's completely opposite. I believe we have to take a hard look at our life and say, okay, how can I follow Jesus first and then add things into my life that or whatever, God will add those things into my life. I really believe that, Ben, and I'm living it kind of, the best I can in that sense. And I'm trying to teach people that as well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like that hard
For
stop, that real change in your life?
For sure. It's just, it's hard.
Well, of course, it's extremely hard. I mean, you got the flesh against you, you have the enemy against you, you have, culture, traditions, you have family against you. Listen, I was talking to my brother about this. I'm like, dude, I have a hard time being around family and friends out, like when I go out west and stuff. It's very difficult for me. And he's like, why? And I'm just like, well, because the lifestyle that, like, I don't live that lifestyle anymore. I literally have a different life. My whole life is different. My schedule is different. Like, it's really different, Ben. The time and energy that I put into my time with the Lord, I give up a lot of stuff. Yeah. I don't do a lot of things in my life. That's why I say I have a very, very simple life. But I have a simple life so that I can allow myself to actually spend more time with Jesus through reading and prayer, and serving and other things. So yeah, I'm trying to rearrange my life and model my life very differently than I lived before. And that's, I don't know, man, it's been tremendously helpful and good. And yeah, I love it. I don't ever want to go back.
Love it, bro. Hey,
I can't believe we went this long.
This is too long.
We didn't even have a topic to talk about.
This is too long. Well, at least we talked about Adam's sex drive.
And we still didn't get to the bottom of it. And so we're assuming that right now, as far as this conversation goes, he wasn't banging.
We put out some good options, though.
He wasn't banging.
I think we thoroughly analyzed all the possibilities.
I think we did too.
More
in depth than other people have ever done, ever.
For sure, bro. For sure.
All right, Ben. We're gonna call it, man. I'll see you in a couple days.
We'll see you Thursday with Cato. Right. Hey, bring questions. I'm going to run this across Cato's desk, or I'm going to ask him if he actually thinks everybody's like fulfilling these prophecies intentionally and what he thinks their goal is. Because Cato's not Christian.
Yeah, it's a good question.
So it'll be interesting to hear his analysis. Yeah. Okay, bro.
Have a great night.
Shaka, bra.
Peace out.